There's a lot of echo. No, there he is.
I had you muted, so we were hearing you from my mic. So, you're on your second cocktail.
Oh, no. It's like 4 or 5.
All right. Hey, Eddie's in here.
It's going to be a wild night, everybody.
It's going to be a fun one. I'm going to let Eddie sit down right here, and Eddie and Dan will take over in just about 3.5 minutes. We're going to see the table action. I'm going to jump on and make sure all the sound works.
This one doesn't say on. Hey, this one's on. It says on.
No, that's okay. You got yours.
Oh, because I'm connected.
That's that mic over there.
I got you.
So you're good to go. Go ahead. Yep, you're good. In 3 more minutes, I'm going to jump on the stream. Everybody can hear you and see right now. Not see you, but can hear you right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Poker House Live, where tonight we pick up cash action again. Tonight's game, Patrick's a 1-2-5, 1K cap. And in the booth, back by popular demand, I have Mr. Dan Simone in the booth with me. Dan, welcome.
Sorry for all the noise. I'm adjusting my mic, and it's...
Put that where you want it.
There we go.
Get set up.
Oh, man.
We're going to be locked in here for the next 4 hours, so might as well be comfortable.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Yeah. No. I had so much fun last week commentating that I gave my seat up again. This game's so good that it really pains me to get my seat up, but I'm such an idiot.
No, I think, again, one of the things we're trying to do here at Poker House, getting a lot of people situated and getting it acclimated to getting in the booth, giving some people opportunity to commentate, giving some people the action track, giving multiple dealers an opportunity to deal. And so we're just trying to put together a good team overall here because we're planning on streaming multiple days a week between various tournaments, various cash games, various stakes. And so we just want to get a lot of people in here that, A, love the game of poker, B, know what they're talking about. So, again,
I love the team.
Last week, that we got some requests for you to come back in the booth. So decided to pair you and I up tonight. So,
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, you really did. I got some texts from various people in Patrick's game, and then people just in general saying that you did a really good job in the booth, and they would love to have you in the booth. So I said, you know what? Why not tonight? I'll take the lead commentary. You do the color commentary, do the analysis, bounce off each other. So
I can't wait.
yeah, this is our first time in the booth together. Hopefully not the last time. Going to be the first of many. We're gonna have a good time tonight. So Dan, you have played in this game before. Before it was actually a live stream game when it was on the outer tables on the main floor. What can we expect? What can we expect tonight?
Not the main floor, homie.
Yeah.
This was in the high roller room.
Oh, the high stakes room.
The high stakes room.
You're right.
This is in the side room. We had our own boom box. We brought food in. It was an invite game. It was a private game. Patrick put it together. Duck, and he picks really fun players. And now we're streaming it. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I know that when we first did our live stream, our new live stream for the tournament, our plan was to definitely stream this game in particular because we knew it was going to be an action-packed game.
Yep.
You guys had been asking for a couple of weeks, and Eric just made the move down here from Minnesota.
Yep.
New equipment, getting people situated on the equipment, the software.
It's way more involved than I thought it would be.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the complexities behind the scenes, particularly, especially running the action track. Again, that's the most important thing. So we are just a few seconds away from picking up action live. Again, thank you for all the viewers in the chat.
I feel like I didn't answer your question the right way, though.
Yeah. Go ahead and answer.
All right, you're good to go. Cisco, you're good.
Patrick's game, I've played in it for the last 3 months. Somehow I've buddied up with Patrick enough to get a permanent seat. But he's so good at rotating people in and getting the right action people in and balancing it. And it's just a very nice, curated game. And we're going to get some very interesting hands because there's a very diverse player pool, basically.
And again, we're going to see from the people from last week and have some mainstays.
Duck is in 2.
In the 2 seat, got Daryl in the 3 seat again.
Yup.
Mr. Frankie for NextGen in the 4 seat. Lucas in the 8 seat.
Right, 15-minute delay.
Oh,
Lucas in the 8 seat. And I believe it was and Nick. Luke, forget about Nick.
Lucas Rain.
Nick is a mainstay of this game. He is one of my favorite people of all time. And
Very nice guy. Always have fun with it. Have fun with it. Guaranteed action.
Bird. I love Duck having his fanny pack around his chest. It's got ducks on it. This man is a persona now.
For the record, I actually don't know the background story.
Oh, it's very simple. His daughter loves ducks. He has a shirt with a duck on it. His daughter loves it. It's his poker name. Simple as that.
We're going 5 ways and ones at the flop. Where both Bird and Nick top pair.
I can't hear you very well.
Oh, this is going to be interesting multi-way.
Maybe use a regular mic for now.
Well, maybe not.
Yay, nay.
You're very hot. I'm very hot, too.
Keep talking and see if I can hear you. I can hear you great, Dan.
It again? Oh, I'm back. Oh, good check back by Nick. He thinks he might be behind with his bad kicker. Look at this. Bird bets 100 on the... Oh, what thin value. Amazing. He's going to pick up a $567 pot. Against 10-7.
How's that? Better. Can you hear me?
I hear it
Eric?
great, dude.
All right, let me give you just a second to pull it up.
Oh, King in the chat saying, Dan, my man, what's going on?
King. My man.
Is this King the dealer?
Oh, it's definitely King the Dealer.
King, hey, King.
He's going to watch the streams I'm on. This is one of my best friends in the world.
King, maybe, you know what? Maybe we should get you in the booth sometime. I think you'd be a fun character in the booth with either Dan or myself.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we're gonna early on, every time I've played this game with Rich, he's played 3 or 4 times. So aggressive pre-flop.
Okay.
He's being very disciplined right now. And I think he's gonna mix it up a little bit tonight.
Have you played with Seat 7? I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Okay,
either.
so it's one of Patrick's. Again, this is a quote-unquote semi-private game. Patrick has a list of about 30 to 40 players that he puts together this stream. Tries to rotate
He wants
in and
to
out
go
his players.
back up.
Yeah, so there's generally about 3 players that are mainstays on this: Daryl,
Yep.
Lucas, and Patrick.
Daryl, and Patrick.
Another 4 to 5 guys switch out.
The 2, the 3, the 8, and the 9 are mainstays. And now we got Frankie, who is a next gen, and he moved here to Poker House, and they have a stream on Sundays, and he just turns a queen high straight. Sorry, flush. And this is not going to get paid off. Maybe by Nick.
Frankie with a sneaky check back. Let's see if he's going to check raise here. If we're just going to smooth call, maybe check river, maybe get Nick to induce a bluff. Nick does have bottom pair with ace kicker. And chooses to raise it up just slightly.
Nick snap called?
Yeah, let's see what sizing Frankie uses on there. He's definitely going to want to bet for value.
Absolutely.
Oh, checks back. Sneaky checks back.
Wow, that's sneaky.
Gonna induce trying to get
Absolutely.
Nick to induce a bluff.
Such an induce. He's never played with Nick before, and he knows him so well. Nick is going to bluff this river a lot. He's talking to the dealer. The dealer
Let's see if
asks
he
his
just
name.
let's see if he comes back over
The
the
dealer
top.
asks his name, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's Frankie." All in.
Hand 2, we already have an all in by next gen Frankie. Let's see.
Next gen Frankie's all in for 820. Oh, it's only 345 to call.
I don't see how Nick can call here. We're just having bottom pair ace kicker and looks a fold.
Good fold, Nick.
Look for him though.
Rich said guaranteed flush. Frankie's not going to show. He's going to watch it back after this airs.
Again, for those of you in the chat, we are on a 15-minute delay. So this action happened live about 15 minutes ago. So here you see the chip counts. Frankie with 1.5.
Can you watch this whenever you want it? Yeah, it stays on the stream. Where is it at? Facebook. There's a link. Facebook, Poker House. Is that what it's on? Yeah. But is it YouTube too? Or no? YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Yeah, it's on all of them.
And then Frankie jams it on him and says, "No shame in folding." So that's what you might have missed on the table.
Oh, we just missed a nice little story about that last hand. So apparently on that specific hand, Frankie meant to just flat call Nick's bet, and they let him pull him back and just call. And on the river, he checks to induce a bluff from Nick, gets a bet from Nick. Nick asks what Frankie's name is, says, "Hey, I'm Frankie," and then Nick says, "Hey, it's no shame in folding," and then Frankie re-jams all in and told him straight to the face, "It's okay, no shame in folding." So, again, that was just hand 2 of the stream tonight. Already had an all in and a lot of action, both hands involving Nick. So, here we are on the way with this specific hand.
Nick is not scared of a 3-bet ever.
Nick getting a little spicy with 9 deuce in late position.
I think he's disciplined enough to shut this down. Nope, he's not even calling. I love it.
He does have some backdoor equity, backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight draws, and he actually picks up backdoor diamonds.
Nick is very zen. He picks up on the energy of the cards, and he knows when another diamond is coming out on that turn, on that river. Holy God, he's going to win with 9 high. Oh, and he's bluffing at it. This is incredible.
Especially with the board running out like this. The only way he's going to...
shaking his head.
Yeah. And Nick knowing there's no way he can win this hand with 9 high on a double paired board.
Love the bluff.
Elects to turn his 9 high, even though it was the best hand, elects to turn in the bluff.
Yeah.
Takes down the pot.
He's not going to stop smiling for like 10 minutes.
And Miss Leisha Brown liking the stream. Thank you, Leisha. And again, if you haven't yet, all the viewers in the chat, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Get on all our social media platforms, Poker House Dallas, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. Like those. Mr. Will Carter in the chat saying, "Rest in peace, KJ and his 4-bet bluffs." Will, why aren't you playing this game?
Oh, I miss KJ so bad.
Love the respect I get if I would take
And again, this is one
That's the Will Carter that I know.
And again, this is going to be a fun stream. So there are going to be at various points throughout the evening where Dan and I are going to shut it down in the booth and let the table talk take over. Let you guys and gals hear the table talk. Michael has a question. What game are they playing tonight? Dan, why don't you go ahead and answer that question?
We got it here in the graphic down below the pot. The pot is 221.
No, he asked what game they're playing tonight.
Oh, it's 1-2-5.
Yeah, so
it's a 3 blind game. So there is a small blind of $1, big blind of $2, and under the gun mandatory straddle of 5.
Are you guys allowing double straddles?
We allow a $10 blind bet.
Okay, blind.
That is the max.
Okay.
And the thing about the 1-2-5 game is Patrick wanted to just juice it up a little. So the buy-in is 800 to 1,000. And that's why the 1-2-5 works really well. And it just gets kind of crazy. Like, Nick's going to buy in like 4 times. He knows it.
I don't know. The way he played last night and the way he's running this evening, he may be stacking the table.
Oh, if he runs as well as he did last Wednesday, this is going to be a weird night.
10 is a blind bet. 10 is a blind bet. It gets no action. If you open it,
That's a lie. The 10 blind bet does get action. Some people don't want to reopen it because the deal with the blind bet is if no one raises, no one makes it more than 10, the person that makes it the blind 10 can't raise.
Got it.
So they're locked in. And it just makes the pre-flop action a little tame. You know what I mean? Shrek. That's my buddy Lucas. He goes by Shrek. I would love to see him flop a big one here. This is one of the most interesting players I've ever played with.
Yeah, he's a very difficult player to play with. Plays very solid, very solid. It's really high. He has a lot of 3-bet bluffs in his range, and
Yep.
obviously with this hand, 3-betting really big. 125 is it? Is that what it looks like? 125 as the pre-flop. So he was the $10 blind bet, correct? I think that was
There it
what.
is.
Yeah. Oh,
The graphic just caught up, and Shrek put in a 4-bet for $200.
so the
which is
10
large.
there's a $10 blind bet that's considered in y'all's game. That's considered the initial raise, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
If you listen for a second, you'll hear Daryl say, "That's why you don't reopen the betting when Shrek is the blind 10 better, right?" And so Rich opened it for whatever 30, and everyone's like, "Don't do that, don't do that, because Shrek is gonna make it 200."
the way not to buy it is you can see it in a couple hours. 4 or 5. 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
So they're saying 4-5 now because Lucas, aka Shrek, made a move 2 weeks ago. He 5-bet jam with 4-5 off into aces. And this is just one of the bravest boys I've ever met on the table. He picks out the best players on the table, and he wants to make moves against them.
Interesting.
And I think that's his main motivation. He doesn't. He just wants to beat the best players, and so making crazy ass 4 and 5 bets pre-flop with 4 or 5 off. He's not gonna watch this.
I think he's gonna watch.
Yeah, he's gonna watch this. And we've talked about this already last week, and he was like, "I just wanted to beat that guy."
Touche.
Yeah.
Daryl taking down his first hand in the evening.
Daryl Donklead.
Now, the chip stacks look relatively small right now, but don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. Those chip stacks are going to be flip-flopping back and forth as people bust out, reload, and stack other players on this specific table. Already in the hand 7, we have Mr. Cisco in the box.
Oh, by the way, we are going to redraw for seats in 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick had texted me a couple days ago and asked me how difficult, just to mix it up.
Redraw seats every 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Actually, I love it. When someone gets knocked out, I'm on that table.
More, I just thought it'd be. Really? What? The stream says that. I don't know if they do the turn.
Nick getting value out of his ace high here.
Let's see what Shrek does. Oh, Alexa fold.
The game often will go. We just move into the high room. The game will go as long as
For a matter of fact, this is a game usually, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys usually start, at least before the stream actually was a thing for you guys. You guys would start about 5 or 6 o'clock. And this is a game that would go overnight, right?
Dude.
10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Between a handful of you guys. I remember something because
It's like 7, 8 handed until 6 in the morning. It's really dumb. I love it. I love this game.
Damn, Rich. Think about it. I was gonna raise it. Think about it for like 3 seconds.
I was gonna make it 50, but I just figured it's easier just to watch. What's my vote? Similar to your normal weekly game so far?
gonna get some action here. Shrek 3 betting 125 out of position to an open from Daryl with ace queen. Let's see if he's just gonna call her 3
Harold's
or 4
loading
bet.
up a 4 bet here. This is gonna get spicy.
It's a good.
I don't
It's a
think
good 4 bet size. As
I don't
you
think
three-
Shrek's going in.
Yeah, as you 3 bet 4 bet, your sizings don't need to be significantly big.
Yeah.
Now I've played with Daryl, and he can get spicy, but I don't see too many 4 bet bluffs from Daryl.
This is one of them.
That's a semi bluff. I believe he made this move knowing that Shrek / Lucas 3 bets, 4 bets, not often, but has a propensity to 3 bet, 4 bet bluff out of position when he's in the blinds, and so.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, with a hand like ace queen, you're definitely blocking pocket aces, pocket queens, ace king, king queen.
Nicholas. My man.
And Nick elects to call. Yeah, and so he's got equity. He's still at least 25% equity in this hand. Let's see what the flop brings. Now, this is a hand that Dare should definitely see bet on a king high board.
Daryl's just jamming, of course.
Again, he makes, yeah, it's a good, I mean.
Oh, I love it.
The stack to pot ratio after the flop, it was about 0.8, 0.9. So pretty much his only move here is to shove on the flop.
Yep. Nick said pocket eights.
I mean, there were still more cards to come. I might have called King Queen if I put as much as you did out there. Thank you. So did another $100. I forgot. You don't fold.
I think the reason Shrek folds there again, you don't see Daryl 4-betting a ton. At least I haven't seen him 4-bet ton. Maybe he does it on this on y'all's specific game.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, so Lucas there / Shrek knows that Daryl's really strong in this spot. Interesting.
I'm very proud of Daryl for
And that's a hand you can definitely make.
4-bet bluffing.
Yeah,
Ace queen off.
and
That's an amazing spot because you got a limper, you got some dead money in there, and you know, Lucas folded.
Look for Frankie to limp back raise here with pocket aces after Nick raises the 50 out of the small blind. Oh,
Oh, that's what that graphic means?
Yeah.
Frankie just called 5. I should know this. This is going to...
See what sizing he uses here for a 3-bet.
I didn't know he had this in him.
Probably going to make it 200. Yep. Good sizing. 4x the original base from Nick.
Good call.
Bird can't love his position here after the original razor and then a 3-bet in between both of those players.
Absolutely not. I don't have a lot of history on Bird.
Yeah, I've played with him a couple times in some of these smaller tournaments, some cash games. Oh. Action flop.
Yeah. Yes, Nick. This is going to get expensive.
Nick electing the lead out on a $600 pot, leaving himself about $700 left behind.
Good eye.
Let's see if Bird gets it in here, because if Bird gets it in, I think Frankie can get away from aces here, especially with this action. This is
Frankie, yes.
okay. Bird just flats here. Frankie does not like this spot because this is a board.
Nope. Bird's all in.
Oh, Bird's all in. Okay, so Bird regen for all in. Frankie can't like.
Count.
Yeah, Frankie cannot like this spot because this 10-9 board slightly connected in terms of middling cards. From a player like Bird in his specific position, he has all the middle pairs where sets and 2 pairs are there. He shouldn't have too many 2-pair combinations based off the pre-flop action, but
It's multi-way.
Yeah, it's
There's not that many bluffs. I mean, this action.
Frankie in a tough spot. He definitely knows that Bird has 10s and 9s in his range.
He's getting away from it.
Especially after Nick leading the flop. You know, after he 4-bet, Nick cold calls, and then Bird also cold calls. I think he's more worried about Bird than he is about Nick.
Oh, the Bird line is so strong.
Yeah. I think with all this money in there being open in and backdoor flush draw, I think Nick's gonna get it in. He has a ton of equity still in this hand. Even though Frankie had pocket aces based off this flop and this configuration right here, has the lowest percentage to win this hand at 5%. Really needs just another ace. We got Hazlitt House Poker in the stream. Mr. Chris, one of the gentlemen that commentated in the booth Sunday with the Next Gen guys, did a great job with him and Nick. Thanks for joining the chat.
What's up, Hazlitt?
Hope to have you in the booth again, either a Next Gen or with myself or Dan. You guys did a really, really, really good job Sunday.
Great stream Sunday, guys.
And I just don't see how Nick can fold here.
He's not.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. Nick's player profile, knowing that he's open-ended and backdoor hearts, I don't see how he folds here. He's the type of player that will go after these types of draws. So I don't see him ever folding here.
This is a man that was born to gamble.
Again, we're less than 10 hands into this.
Look at it. He stacked up some stacks, and he just slides them in.
Oh, and then look at the table. The table's laughing because they know this is so sick.
This is so Nick. Watch this. Poor Frankie. He doesn't know how far behind he is.
Yeah.
He didn't want this to go 3 ways.
And I don't think he has a lot of fold equity here. Assuming the stack sizes are correct.
Because you're the only one who never seems to get their cards in the right place.
I mean, he does. I thought he called originally the jam from Bird. So I think everybody's all in, right?
Yeah, I think everybody.
Yeah, everybody's all in. This is
Looking on the
really, it's
screen,
3K pot already.
Frankie's coming to a very unfortunate realization about his position
Yeah.
versus 2 people.
I want to hear this table talk on the turn in the river, see what's going on, see what happens. Let the table take over. Oh, Nick gets there. Oh my gosh, it's so
Of
gross.
course, everyone on the table is going to freak out.
And Nick just felt both Frankie and Bird.
Just turns it.
And the missus the missus in the chat, Heather, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Heather.
Yo, man. Just what a big hand.
Still running great.
Yeah, it's back-to-back weekends. I don't know what you're cooking at the house. Whatever you're cooking, Dan and I will take some of that so we can get some of that run good here.
You were absolutely right about. Nick can't get away from that 3 ways.
Yeah.
Of course not.
If there's no
$1,800.
if there's no heart on the flop, maybe he can get away from that. I still don't think he's getting away from it with all that money in there. But again, with the backdoor hearts and open ender, he just has so many turn cards on that specific board with 2 cards to go that improve his equity position. So obviously turns the nuts there.
Oh yeah.
Frankie, how many times have you had aces all in on the flop and ended up a lot? Really? Yeah. Oh, wow. That was gross. I'm still not folding. Even though I'm worried. Oh. You're the yeah, very bad.
Nick continuing his run good from last week. What a sick hand. Just we're less than 10 hands in, Dan.
Yeah.
And for those of you joining the chat, this is a 1K cap game, and Nick is already up to nearly 3K. So sick.
I'm gonna let you in on something. The first hour of this game, for the last 20 Wednesdays, it's always stacking.
Does everybody start slowing down to war? Like,
I don't know.
Okay,
I
fair
don't
enough.
think so. I should know this. For whatever reason, the first hour is always a bloodbath. And then I guess people kind of slow down. They make more moves. People have more stack.
I'll tell you what. If there's one player at this table that's dangerous when they have chips, it's definitely Nick, because he can put you in some tough spots. He definitely has bluffs in him.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people are going to look him up. So when he has a nutted hand, he's going to get paid off a lot.
A lot. You saw that a ton last week. He got paid off so much last week.
There was one time, remember that one hand where I had aces, the guy had kings, and Nick had nines, and he flopped a 9. And I was like, if it's anybody else at the table making this move, I'm probably folding. But I have to call with aces there, and he flops. He flops
I was
a
at the
9.
table for that.
Yeah, you were at the table.
I remember that.
Yeah. I think anybody against
That was gross.
Yeah, and it's not anything against Nick as a player. Nick's a good player, right? But he's just so splashy and his VPIP's so high that
He's laggy.
Yeah,
And he gets paid off.
pocket aces against Nick in particular, like I'm just not letting it go. Against maybe like Patrick or
That's how it goes.
or Frankie, I can probably let pocket aces there, but against Nick, I mean, thank God I had him covered because I had to reload and retop off, but you know.
Ooh.
Nick with the gutty here. Everybody with a little bit of piece of this flop, with the exception of Bird.
Little piece.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a little piece. Almost top for Duck. Very dry board. Rainbow disconnected. And he's going to get called by a couple hands.
Nick's definitely not going anywhere now. Turns a pair now open-ended. Nick's definitely not going anywhere.
I like this bet.
Rich may not be going anywhere either.
Nah. This is going to get a little antsy
Oh my
for
God.
Duck.
Oh, wait.
Perfect. It doesn't get antsy at all.
And based off
Four.
this action, not too many people have any queen X hands, unless they're floating flop and turn with a hand like Queen Jack.
Nah, it's really interesting. I
Queen.
wonder what Duck is trying to get called by here. He rivers the dream.
It's okay to fold.
And he's telling Nick that it's okay to fold.
I don't
Third
see Nick
pair.
again. Nick can get splashy, but he's also a smart splashy player, and I don't think he's gonna find he's gonna find the call, especially after Duck barrels three streets.
Oh yeah, Nick would just have to absolutely think and know that Duck is bluffing here. 3 barrels.
And again, we were multi-way to the flop and turn until the river. So for him to triple barrel as a bluff here would be a really good move.
Of course.
Good, good lay down by Nick. Good triple barrel by Duck to try to get some value from Nick.
That's a big old pot for Duck. You did go runner. Wait. Oh. I'm sorry, audience. I am misreading the graphics. He got thin value on that river.
Did he call? I don't
In
think
a
no way he got
great
called.
way. I don't know why I thought he rivered a straight. So I know the audience really likes all the analytics that we can pick up on and putting up graphics on VPIP and all that stuff.
Now, for those of you, I am in the booth commentating on a regular basis. However, I think this is only the second time where I'm quote unquote the lead commentary. So I'm very afraid to click buttons other than adjusting the volume and muting because I don't want to accidentally end the stream. So don't count on sound effects tonight. Don't count on statistics popping up. We're just gonna commentate, have a good time this evening, do some analysis, and then hopefully over the next couple of weeks, once everybody gets trained.
Oh, we have the buttons to put up the graphics?
Yes, but I don't know how to do it. You have to actually get out of this specific screen and Streamlabs, and you can pull it up, and then there's an option where I can drag it onto the screen.
Click buttons. I shouldn't even ask questions.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely not clicking buttons. I promise.
All right. This is interesting.
I try to pay attention when I'm told what to do.
Nobody has too much of this board. See if anybody's gonna elect to turn their hand into a bluff. Rich with the best hand with king high. Let's see this. Let's see if Shrek takes a stab at this. Probably knows this 9 high is not very good.
Oh, I think you can make it big. 175?
That's a very good sizing in terms of value. Yeah, and gets it through.
Oh, yeah.
Takes down a pot.
But when you go match, it goes crazy. So it's like, well, it's hard to protect a winning week. But we also want to be able to include everyone. So we want fans who can afford to buy it. So we have one here. Yeah, we've been doing it. Rich, you don't know he's a celebrity? He's a celebrity.
Nick is on a tear again this week. I love it. When he builds a big old stack up, let's just start making moves. That's how poker should go.
Mr. Ryan Yannick liking the chat and liking the stream. Thank you very much. For those of you that are in the chat watching the live stream this evening, go ahead and like our stream so that we can get our YouTube algorithm up and boost us up in viewings, and hopefully at some point in the near future able to monetize this stuff. Dan, that's one of the things I know we've looked at the YouTube. So again, from a live stream perspective, Eric is obviously a guru when it comes to that. He's been doing this for years now. Again, that's how I actually initially knew Eric. I knew him from Houston.
Really?
Yeah. So there was a room with Kim and Hayden down in Houston, and he came and set up a live stream. We did a live stream there for one of their big tournaments.
Nice.
And in Houston, when we hosted a tournament, at that point, still right after post-COVID.
Yeah.
And we hosted the first $1 million guarantee tournament in Kim and Hayden's room. with Eric helping with the live stream. And that
In Houston?
In Houston, yeah. And that tournament, it was supposed to, the main event. It was about a 10-day, 11-day series,
Okay.
and $1 million guarantee ended up being about 2.2 million.
Good lord.
Yeah, the wait list, alternate list for like the last day was ridiculous. I think they had like 200 alternates.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a room that I think we had like 30 something tables, and so the way
Yeah.
the room was set up, very similar to this kind of its own building, but next door was a restaurant that was obviously closed down because of COVID, and they had to move the cash tables to the restaurant, and they were playing cash in the restaurant while the tournament was. Yeah, so
I kind of love that.
multi.
That actually sounds just delightful. Getting a little dessert delivered while you're 3-bet bluff jamming. Wait. Check raise bluff jamming. Oh, what's happening here?
Yeah, it looks like definitely a multi-way flop.
I think Duck 3-bet pre and got 5 callers.
You gotta love that.
He hates it.
Want to do a side bet that Nick ends up having a favorable run out? Maybe turns a 4. Let's turn a 6. Oh, he picks up outs.
Goodness gracious. He's not going anywhere.
Duck picking up a flush draw, backdoor flush draw.
I think it's just 20. 25?
That's 25 and 2.
Oh. This raise is very good.
Definitely gonna thin the field. Probably gonna get heads up. Nick's not laying it down with the gutter there.
Oh, I love this raise. You're right. Nick's not going anywhere open-ended. But if it bricks the river, well, it's a 3-bet pot 6 ways.
Shane floating with overs. Bird floating. Let's see if Bird floats with overs. I don't see him floating there with overs. Okay, no. It's okay. We're heads up to the river.
Yup.
Nick, knowing his 10 ice not really good, is gonna barrel. Let's see what sizing he uses here.
Oh, goodness.
Good sizing for value, maybe like somewhere around 350 to 450.
Oh, goodness.
Could make it big here, and Duck just can't call here with Jack high. Good size. Slightly about 45% pot.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
You hear- you hear
Nick
this-
with the
you
table
hear
talk.
this
Hold on, I want to
speech?
hear. I want to
You
hear
this
this.
speech play.
I want to hear this.
Oh.
Hey, he gets it through. Oh, Duck not knowing Jack High is here. Obviously, you're never thinking Jack High is ever good, but wow, Nick just getting it, just running over this table with 10 high. I love the play. Obviously, he knows he's never winning at showdown with 10 high, so he's getting picks a very nice sizing, about 45% pot. That's a very value size bet on the river, especially. It's a very what's the word I'm looking for? A very
Value-y.
very value bet, but it's a very bold move, knowing that
I don't know.
Patrick re-raised him there on the turn. So
If you're at the very bottom of your range with 10-4, that's the perfect size to.
I mean, here's why
To
it's so
get out
hard to
those-
play against a guy like Nick. You know, one of the things you learn in poker as you go through streets, you know, pre-flop, flop, turn, river, you try to narrow down your opponent's range.
Oh, it's impossible.
And Nick has an uncapped range. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at times. And so
Nick has put me in the blender more than any human being I've ever played with. Because could be anything. All the time. And
Aaron Barsh saying, let's go. Bird 3 betting. Ace Queen offsuit. Oh, Ace Queen offsuit, middle position. We're going 6 ways to the flop with
Yeah.
211 and
Watch Shrek try to make a move at some point.
Duck flopping with the best of it. Top pair with a decent kicker. I think it's going to check all the way over to him, and I think he's going to make a bet. Maybe Bird's going. Bird. This is a board,
Oh no.
and this is a tough spot, right?
Oh no.
Ace Queen. This is a hand that favors your range, a board that favors your range, but especially with the king. But you got it. Not having a king in your hand, multi-way, you probably know you're not good here.
I don't know, man. Bird opened and
Yeah, Bird 3
Duck
bet.
just flatted. Shrek just folded.
I think Shrek folds are knowing that Duck's probably not gonna bet into a field of 6 players without a minimum a king with a decent kicker.
Good point. Nick is running so hot that he's calling a big flop bet with the ace of clubs with backdoor clubs.
Let's see size.
He
He
can
should
get-
use at least
he can get
400 here.
runner.
400 to 450. Slightly value bet here, but also to deny equity against some straight draws, some flush draws. With the 8 of diamonds coming on the turn, brings in a backdoor flush draw. Now 2 flush draws on the board. Wisely folds.
You did see that he took a bigger pot for me just now. I mean, I don't like to change rules that just
I love how brave.
if anyone's noticed that.
Brave's not the right word.
really
It's like
I'm happy.
being aggressive multi-way is an art.
I don't know if I mentioned.
It's very difficult, especially on a board like that with a king high board.
Yes.
With 2 clubs, it's very hard to navigate multi-way, especially out of position.
And Patrick, I've played with him a ton.
My favorite.
And it works out a lot. Because he's very brave about it.
I was saying, Nick plays with no fear, and those types of players are
Yeah,
really
yeah.
really tough to play against.
Duck has no fear about playing multi-way. And I think I'm jealous because I play with a lot of fear multi-way.
No, and I mean, fear is probably not the correct word. I'd probably say caution is probably the correct word. Which
Yeah,
on a
that's
multi-way
not the
board, you know, you and I have some similar style in our play. We're very very methodical, very logical. Probably play even though. We're not professionals by any means. Probably play more close to modern theory than anybody at the table, maybe with the exception of Frankie. So navigating multi-way flops is really difficult, even more so out of position. So
I think that you're absolutely right. It's a very nuanced thing to choose spots multi-way to be aggressive in and be successful with it.
and I like this 3-bet by Shrek, ace deuce suited. It's a very good candidate to 3-bet with. You're blocking a lot of ace. You're blocking pocket aces, ace king, ace queen, those types of hands. Also has ability to flop wheel draws, back flush draws.
I expect Daryl to
Definitely gonna peel one here with middle
give
pair.
a lot of respect to this, though. Yep. Oh, Daryl.
I'm
Daryl
surprised.
check raised.
Oh, he check raised there. Okay.
He knew that flop was bad for Shrek, I guess.
It's on his shirt.
What? Yeah, and then a card bigger than that comes, and I'm like, what the hell's going on now? I didn't have cards.
I'm really going to try to quantify just bravery in this game.
Right.
Was it 4 or 5?
It's tough.
No.
We got
4 bet or 5 bet?
we got Duck, Daryl, Rich,
Love it.
If I put you on big aces, that happens, I got to bet.
Lucas, Nick.
In the aces.
Against your buddy, Chris.
Yeah, I will say that
Lucas 5 bet shoved at him.
because I'm a little jealous because it's kind of a fascinating thing because very focused bravery in this game. I guess just like aggression focused maybe I'm saying everything.
Yeah, no,
something
no,
everyone
you're
knows.
right.
Everyone knows this. Everyone's heard this. Is that if you pick the right spots to be aggressive, you're gonna win money playing poker.
Oh, wow.
And now this is gonna be a spot for Frankie.
Now, for the record, the graphics show that Frankie has $425. He actually has more than that. He's probably sitting right now remaining probably
This was like
850, 850 or so.
Yeah.
I think he's going to shove it here. I think he's going to get snap called. Obviously going to get snap called. It's a good...
You think Frankie's shoving queens here?
Yeah.
He just
Against Nick's player profile, I think he shoves
just
it.
gives Nick's image. Oh, yeah. Good guess. I love it.
Snap call. Gonna need a count, but he's definitely gonna call here. I mean, he already has 3 invested in this spot. It's probably another 600 to call with Ace King.
What do you think? Nick's folding?
No, Nick's never folding Ace King.
Absolutely not.
No. He doesn't like it though because Frankie. I think he knows that Frankie is not the type of player to 4-bet rip. No, I think it was a 4-bet by Nick, and then Frankie is not the type of player to 5-bet rip bluff in this spot, knowing that he's probably one of the tired players at this table. He's definitely going to make the call, so he makes the call.
Nick definitely picks up that Frankie's one of the tired players at the table.
How big is his pair? Ace king?
I like the rip by Frankie. He's gonna.
Are they running it once or twice?
Queens. Oh.
And they ran it once.
Wait, what happened?
They ran it once. Yeah. So for Frankie now doubles up to about 2K. Nick loses a little bit of a stack, but still in a good spot.
I'd rather have ace king than ace, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks. I don't know when we're gonna get a seat.
I can't tell you how many times I've had ace crack.
David.
I hate them. If I get jacks, I use them.
Hey Charlie, you told me David was. You told David he was on our list, right? He just asked the dealer if he could play. So.
Frankie with a nice double up right there, pushing him close to 2K now.
I sent a bunch out.
About 2.1. So again, the graphics are incorrect with this chip count. And I don't think Rich only has 64 behind, or maybe he does. No, he doesn't. He has about 600 behind. So we're gonna have to get the chips updated.
You literally struck your head and freaked out. Queen.
Ooh. Action flop with the case queen coming on the board. Darrow's gonna lead out. I think Rich is gonna just rip it in here because he doesn't have a big stack. Yeah. Maybe he does have only 64. Oh, Rich still has some chips left. Board pairs brings in a flush draw. Duck folding the best hand between him and Daryl. Now with 4 players over 1.5K. Again, for those of you just now joining this chat, this is a 1K cap. We are less than about 20, 25 hands into this live stream. People topping off, adding on.
He said I had queen jack, and then both of them were like, I don't care if you have queen jack. Just don't care at all. I just felt like you had to queen. I flipped my cards over.
But we all had queens.
When you asked me, I thought that's what I said. He asked before he flipped his hand.
We all had
After he flipped his hand up, I said, yeah, now I really do.
Oh, I never saw it. I thought he folded.
Enjoying this table talk amongst these gentlemen. In disbelief that all of them had a queen, and the case queen hitting the flop. Driving action on that flop there.
And my kicker was in that
That's not me.
What? You folded. That is an accurate representation of what happened.
my kicker was in that whole range. It just wasn't that one.
It's going to be a blind versus straddle, $15 into the pot. Ooh, a little bit of something for Duck here, flopping the second nut flush draw.
No.
Not too much from everybody else, with although Bird does have middle pair. The mediocre kicker.
I know that. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. I went, well, that's not good.
You got yanked on the bottom of the down. We'll say later.
Flop going check, check, and Duck betting pot. Nick's gonna float with his queen nine, Jack calling, Bird calling with the middle pair. This is a card that's gonna slow down action a little bit. I think that Duck is gonna bet here. Probably should bet small unless he's specifically targeting an ace. That's half pot. Now, Bird does have the Jack of Hearts, so but still elects to fold. They're wisely folding.
Oh, you saw it?
I heard the reaction. And then I was waiting. I was like, all right, about 6:45. I'll be able to look up and see.
That's a clip.
I was like 7 queen or just 2 hours.
Chad, aka Colas, thank you. Can we get up on the stacks? The stacks, yes. I have informed someone outside to update the chip counts, correct. And in terms of the community cards, as of right now, we actually have the overhead cam, but we have not installed it yet. So hopefully in the next week or so, we'll get that installed, and we'll be able to see the flop cam. And I will turn up the table talk so you guys can hear the table talk here in the chat.
I mean, you're at, what, 8%? Oh. No. Oh, you're not like 8% and turn like 4% like that. Well, any 10 helps too. It goes 10-10, so it's probably like 10-10 gets there?
My nephew likes you, man.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, but that's as dead as aces ever are on the flop.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Those are rainbow points. That was rough.
Hey, Chad, I'm sorry. Sorry you're getting dizzy, Chad.
Chad, the game. Okay, so in terms of the stream, the stream will be going till 10 p.m. with a 15-minute delay, so 10:15 on your end. But again, if you're new to the chat, this is a game that actually, once the stream ends, will go to one of the outer tables or inside the high stakes room, and this game actually runs overnight. It can run into like 10 o'clock in the morning. So you may not necessarily get a seat on the live stream itself, but you definitely would be able to get a seat at some point late into the evening. Is that a correct assumption there?
Oh,
Dan?
Chad, talk to me. I'll get you on the list, Tommy.
Again, to get on the
Oh, wait.
specific game,
How awesome! How
Yeah.
late is it? Is this going?
Yeah. The stream itself will end at 10, but this game will go till 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So Dan,
This is not like a stream specific game. This game has been going for almost 5 months before we started streaming it, and it's just a pure action game. So if people have to leave at 11, one of the stipulations to get in the game is that you have to play from 6 to 11, right? We don't allow jumping in and out and stuff.
one of my favorite dealers and co-commentators, Mr. Ben Mighty, saying, "Have fun tonight, guys. All the best." Hey, thank you, Ben. You know what? I watch y'all stream often and try to learn a lot of some things I've been playing. Listen to you and Derek over there. So always enjoy you and Derek specifically as friends, poker players, colleagues in this poker industry, but as commentators. So thanks again for tuning in. And you have a good evening as well. Probably see you guys tomorrow over there. Or maybe tomorrow's Thursday, maybe Friday.
Big bet by Daryl.
Good value bet here. About half pot, slightly under half pot. Maybe targeting a queen or king, a weaker king.
Yeah, that's good value there.
Yeah.
That was why last week when I had that ace-7.
Ooh.
Yeah, Rob. Thanks, Bobby Boy in the chat. I agree. Ben and Derek are a phenomenal duo over there at TCH. Respect the hell out of those guys. So we are now about a little over an hour and 15 minutes into the stream. Again, Edward Batinga in the booth and my co-commentator, Mr. Dan Simone. This is the second time you commentated, correct?
Yeah, I was in last week.
Yeah, for this specific game, did a heck of a job. Got some requests for him to come back in the booth, and tonight I'm leading commentary here. So have him as my sidekick, or maybe I'm his sidekick tonight. So he knows these players a lot better than I do.
No way.
In terms of personality-wise, but also in terms of poker play. But again, I played with a number of these guys at a number of occasions over the last 6 months or so. So fun group of guys to play with, action-packed game. So
I'm a little more fascinated with, we got a guy from YouTube named Farquad.
yeah.
Is Fiona with Shrek? Y'all question mark. I can't find her. That's Lord Farquad.
You know, Farquad, you know what? The next time one of us steps out in the booth, I will check with Shrek to see if Fiona is with him. And that's Rob. I don't know if you know Rob. You know Rob. He's a dealer here. I never.
Oh, what up, Rob?
Yeah, I didn't know that was his last name. So he was commentating, and then there was one I wasn't sure who he was specifically in the stream.
Why didn't you ever tell me your last name, Rob?
And then he made a comment because he had felt in me the earlier dealing to me, and then he mentioned that, and I was like, "Oh, that's that Rob." And I think I permanently banned him, so I don't know how you got back on the stream, Bobby Boy. Just kidding.
Thanks, Rob.
Again, a small pot here, multi-way to the turn, with Daryl flopping trips.
Just being very trappy.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, it brings an open-ender to Shane in the 7 seat. Terrell in the chat liking the stream. Thank you very much for liking the stream, Mr. Terrell, one of our dealers here and very well versed as a dealer on the live stream.
Shrek makes it 150. This is gonna raise a lot of red flags with Shrek. Just the flat,
Yeah.
from Daryl.
For sure.
This makes.
I mean, when I
He can't, again, Shane hasn't been playing many hands. In fact, I think this is the only hand that I recall him being multi-way to the turn. So Shrek's not liking this action.
Oh, he's gonna give up. Well.
Sizable bet, 450 in the 575.
It's not hard to
Yeah,
give
about
up.
75% pot, 80% pot.
They both snap folded.
Yeah.
Eddie's gonna say I lost. Oh, Eddie's not in there, is he? Where is he?
Daryl, I am in the booth, and you got value. I'll tell you what, I will step out of the booth because I need to use a restroom, and then I'll tell him he got value with Queen 9. Because I had busted him, I had busted his chops a few weeks ago from missing value with Queen 9.
Why does he remember this?
I'm almost 60, man. I am actually.
I'm never gonna like my age.
CB. Ace queen off. Under the gun.
Bet 150, you come over top.
Just check, Daryl. You'll get $300. I don't know to tell you.
Bet 25.
Makes it 25. Shane folds. I'm doing play-by-play now. No one seems to have much. Nick's calling with 9-3 off. Daryl, put your cards on the reader. All the viewers are feeling my frustration too. I went out there and told him. I hit him in the head. I said, put your cards on the reader. A terrible flaw for CB. Well, any under the gun opening range. And now Nick's not going anywhere. He's got backdoor spades and a gutter ball. Daryl's still in. All right, yeah, CB's going to slow down here. Nick's open-ended now. He could get aggressive.
I think he should make a bet here.
I think he should get aggressive.
Again, it's actually really good that he has a diamond and a spade. He's blocking a lot of flush draws. See what sizing he chooses here, assuming he bets.
Looks like 60. Little small.
Yeah, if you're going to want to deny some equity against overcards or other middle pairs, you're going to definitely want to size up there. Make it 120, 125.
Jack 7 off. And he still doesn't know how to use the card reader. I'm going to go out there and kick him in the head. Good call.
Daryl has an 8 or a 10 there.
But I know he's calling. He's out. He's got at least something up there.
Chad, I think I answered your question. If you want to get into this game again, not specific to the live stream because this game is pretty locked up for the stream. If you want to get into this game later this evening inside the private room, come on down. I'm sure Dan can find you a seat.
Yeah, there are no rules in this table.
I say skip all the steps of chatting in and asking how you can join the game. Come to Poker House Dallas. Play some 1-2 with us.
Yeah, and so
Make friends. And then we'll get you in the starting 9 of the Wednesday game. And if not, we'll get you as a fill-in when one of these idiots busts out. Friendly. They're not idiots, all of these guys. They're all my friends. But, we'll get you in the game. Just get down here.
yeah, and one of the things we are doing, I said it at the beginning of the stream, we are looking to live stream multiple days a week, various stakes, various buy-ins, tournaments. So there is an opportunity for pretty much anybody to get on the stream with all the different stakes that we offer here for the live stream and games in general. But
Correct.
even if you can't even get into the live stream, come play our 1-2 game, 500 game. get a 2-5 game going started. We have some mixed games going on. The $5, $10 bomb pot table is very popular here. So a variety of mixed cash games here. I think I walked outside. We have about 7 to 8 tables on a Wednesday evening, which is very good. So
I didn't know what day it was. I thought it was a Saturday, and it's Wednesday. And I think Nick, I think Rich is gonna let him bluff at this.
C9, bet 35. C5, raise.
with a little blocker bet at the end.
Rich raised to 200.
Yeah, it's definitely a fold from Nick, especially with that small sizing. Usually when you take that kind of sizing, when
He
you
knows
bet,
he got caught.
yeah,
He knows he got caught.
a lot of those times when you bet small on the river, 1/10 pot,
Yep.
anywhere from 1/10 pot to 1/5 pot, it's generally a blocker type bet. Obviously, Rich was checking there, knowing that Nick's probably gonna bluff there in most scenarios. So check raise bluffs. Now the sizing that he used there, you're gonna probably want to use a smaller sizing in order to get maybe a weaker ace to call. So when Nick makes it 35 and he makes it 200, definitely not gonna get Nick. Even if Nick had, if Nick had a weaker ace,
You're absolutely right.
yeah, you may want to make it something small like 75 to 100, but making it 200, making it nearly 7x his bet on the river, it's definitely never going to get a call from Nick.
Never.
All right, Chad, headed that way, just jumped on the list. We'll see you here. If you want, come stop by the booth.
That's the way to do it, Chad. Headed that way. That's what I love to hear.
Honestly, the rules say you can't tell the truth, so. I tell the truth. Action Nick.
They're not playing any special game like the 7 deuce game or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, Bird.
I think the graphics are incorrect. I don't think this is a raise pot to 10 because Shrek's never going to. Oh, that's
So
right.
here's the deal.
He's blind raising, right?
The tracker says raise to 10, but it's the blind 10.
Right. So it is. So you guys consider it a blind 10. So it is a raise. Okay.
I think Shrek's getting sticky here.
No, he is because he knows that's not.
Ayo.
That's not a board that generally favors a 3-betting range, especially on low boards.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to continue with a
Yeah.
third pot bet.
And you can, and again, multi-way. Again, this hand was multi-way, and he's in position. So a lot of times you can check back. That's a really bad card for. Oh, he's not. Bird's not in the hand. So that's not a very good board for Ace Queen.
Nice hand, Lucas.
Yeah, and on a board like that, when someone's 3-betting there, they definitely have all the over pairs, but they also have hands like Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace Jack suited. So you're definitely going to want to at least peel a flop and see, maybe try to set mine, see if it's a low flop. With it being a low flop, Shrek flopped obviously a gutter to a straight, had an over pair to the actual board, and so
Did
more than likely
Bird
was
fold
he did
to a
fold.
bet on the turn?
He folded to a bet on the turn. Lucas led the turn. Nick called, and Bird folded his ace queen. It's a good fold because
Yeah.
the ace on the river would have got Lucas paid. So he actually lost the minimum on that hand.
I really don't think you can call their multi-way. Right?
No, on the turn, no, because you're really drawing to overcards at that
Yep.
at that point. Now, you made a comment about c-betting his entire range there. He does have the range advantage to a certain extent, but definitely doesn't have the nut advantage. Both players, again, knowing that Nick has a wide range there, that's a board that could definitely smash Nick's 3-bet calling range. And then also with Shrek has a lot of the middle pairs there. So he could have overpairs to the actual board there, but also he turns a set of sixes there, and when it takes down the hand.
This is gonna be very frustrating for Duck here because he's got Rich behind and he's gonna lead.
You know what they say? Just because you have a king doesn't mean you're
Yeah, Rich ain't going nowhere.
And he's in position, although he doesn't have a good kicker. Some can argue that he can re-raise there. Again, you're not going to want to re-raise there, even with top pair. It's a connected board in terms of flush draws, wheel draws, and your 9Kers isn't that good.
Duck's
So
gonna have to slow down here.
look for this to go check, and then Rich hopefully is going to bet. Okay.
Oh yes. Just playing his range advantage. I've got ace king. I've got king queen. I've got kings. I've got queens. Rich folds king 9. Nick's got a fold.
Surprised that he fold top pair there, unless he's worried about his kicker.
I think Duck sold it so well. Nick has really got to be channeling 2 pair on a river. He might be feeling it. He might be feeling like he's going to get a jack or a 5 on the river. Not this hand.
And again, he knows that Patrick. I'm not saying that Patrick doesn't have double barrel bluffs on him, but it's highly unlikely that Patrick's going to double barrel bluff into 2 players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially with Rich on the button and calling pre-flop and then calling a flop bet. So does a good job of representing a really good king there.
Yeah. That was a thing I was fumbling over earlier. Is how do you focus aggression multi-way? That seemed to be a spot. It was like, I have the range advantage. I am leading into 2 people.
So
I've got all the king queen. I've got all the kings. I've got all the queens. I got all the ace king. I got all the ace. Well, what do you think?
So in a scenario like that, there's a lot of ways. So one of the things I'm trying to adapt in my play and pick up in my play is adapting to the table dynamics in terms of player profiles, stack depths, who's to my left, who's to my right. Mm-hmm. And if I'm out of position, even with a hand like aces, and I have like 3 or 4 players behind me to call, on boards that don't favor my raising range, 3-betting range, a lot of times with pocket aces, I'm going to check that flop and just go into check call mode.
Yep.
So when you're out of position to multi-ways, you want to try to keep the pot small. And when you're in position with the strong hands, you want to try to get the pot as big as you can and quote-unquote blow up the pot. So different ways to navigate different hands and different, on a table like this, I'm probably not going to try to bloat the pot specifically out of position.
Correct.
Especially to players like, Shrek, player Nick, I would, Daryl, if I'm in position of those players, I would have a more propensity to build a bigger pot to get value.
Yeah.
But again, it all just depends on table dynamics.
So this is interesting. We got CB on the dealer button with jacks. Shrek 3-bet with 10s to 150. I think he got back to CB. And he 4-bet to 270.
Yeah,
Appropriate sizing. This is going to be interesting.
and I know that Shrek does not like that because
Hi-ya. No,
I want to see
terrible
him.
flop.
I want to see him actually
Well,
bet small for value, maybe 150.
he's the 4-bet
Yeah,
caller.
and
He's
so
just gonna muck.
that bet is definitely gonna. Yeah, he made that bet small for value to set up a riversized jam, and so Shrek knows pocket tens. You just can't fold that to a 4-bet, even though it's just pocket tens. But I know raising red flags because I believe that's the only hand that CB's been in since the start of the stream that I can recall that he's been a part of. So for him to 4-bet Lucas even though he's on the button position, Shrek has to know that, yeah, he has ace king, he has pocket queens, pocket kings, pocket aces there, and on a king high board when he continues, obviously he flopped middle set, but he's just gonna have to fold to any aggression that CB does. Frankie with pocket deuce is looking to set mine.
Get lucky, flop a jack. That's what the guy said. Just a real short video.
My favorite way to play jacks is flopping,
$10,
flopping a straight draw and turning broad. Way to good job.
Nick,
I actually
betting from the big blind.
Yeah, I actually like this raise, and the reason I like this raise is because obviously ace 8 does not play well post flop. So if you're going to play a hand like this, you're going to want to 3-bet, especially out of position. Now, I would have liked to seen him take a larger sizing, especially with all the limps behind. If he would have made it maybe $60 to $75, he could have got some folds.
It's the wrong sizing.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah, I definitely like the 3-bet conceptually.
Oh, the squeeze conceptually is.
Yeah. But if you're gonna
$10, yeah.
if you're gonna squeeze with multiple $10 limpers behind, you're gonna have to squeeze big.
At least a pot size bet. Like, at least make that 70. Right?
Yeah.
Is that too big?
No, I don't think it's big. In my head, if I'm gonna squeeze with a hand like ace 8 offsuited, I'm gonna make it 75 probably.
Yeah.
I mean, in this game, you wouldn't be alone.
This delayed C bet is also too small. Daryl's getting in here with a gutter. He knows what he's doing. Do it again, Nick.
I think if he's gonna bet this river,
Make it 120. Oh, he checks. Daryl checks back. Frankie knew it. I love when this happens.
these guys having fun at the table tonight. This is a fun game.
Right.
In a couple of weeks, I really want to jump in this game. So, but I think over the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to really focus on getting staff here trained in the commentary booth on the action tracker and dealing. So,
And I'm still not sure why you haven't jumped in the last.
you want to know why I haven't jumped in? I'm going to tell you my secret.
You know, whatever.
No. I actually hired somebody to go through 4 weeks of data and put together a player profile. No, that's serious. I did like a 30-minute tutorial how I want it done.
What'd you pay him?
I'm paying him per stream.
What do they got on me?
So we haven't done anything yet. So yesterday, yeah, he's actually moving to Austin. He's going to dealer school there. He's gonna train to be a dealer at the lodge.
No shit.
Yeah, so he's actually gonna be a chip runner initially, and going to do like 4 to 6 weeks of dealer training school at the lodge, and hopefully getting a job there once he completes dealer school. Young kid, 19, actually probably for his age, he actually reminds me kind of like Lucas in terms of how smart
Young
he is.
little go-getter.
Yeah, young but really smart and understands the game and knows how to pick his spots.
Yeah.
Like this kid, his name is Steven. I don't know if he's listening to the chat, but this kid's gonna be really, really dangerous.
He's your data miner.
Yeah. And so I said, hey, look, this little project is good for me. A, you make some money.
Yeah.
B, you actually, he's only been playing poker for like 2 years now, and he was playing the 1-2 streets in Houston where max buying's like $200-300 just to get his feet wet. So this is.
Okay.
I told him, I said, hey, this is a game. This is what you're gonna see once you move up in stakes or start playing 1-2, 1-3. How crazy action's gonna be. So this is gonna be good practice for you. It works out for me because. You're gonna timestamp these players and whatnot, and I'm gonna see how they play. And so it's a win-win situation for me. So
If
Daryl-
any of these guys go back and watch this, they're not going to let you play with them.
Yeah.
Because they
I already
know
told
that
some
you're,
people.
you're data mining them. Ooh.
this is gonna get juicy.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's pretty loud.
Well, let's just forgive Daryl for his language on the room mics. No big deal.
Nick, you think I'm doing it light?
I mean,
This isn't Christian radio.
yeah, Nick has a very good combo draw here.
Wow.
He doesn't know how strong Daryl is.
I'm just worried about
So Nick,
the depth here.
Yeah.
Because Daryl could easily just go with this.
yeah, he's definitely not going anywhere in this right
Even
now.
bottom too. Yep. All in.
Yeah.
Good God, he picked up more outs. They're going twice. Perfect. First one's bad. We might not see the graphics on this. Oh, yeah, we will. Look at this. With the river on the second one. Did they chop?
I don't think so. I think Nick just got felted. Because if he's stacking his chips like that, you're stacking him the move over.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a really bad card. It's a really bad card for both players, depending on how you look at it. Because Daryl knows that's not a good card because a lot, Nick can have King 10 there. He knows that's a card that can bring additional outs.
Yep.
And Nick doesn't like because he knows he has to call now because he just picked up additional outs.
Still, though. Daryl with bottom two.
Daryl now the chip leader at this table with 3.5K. Frankie
Going
with
with
2.6.
Going with it.
Yeah.
For any amount of money.
No, he's not. Nick, are you out? You're not out, are you?
Nick gonna go reload put some more bullets in the chamber. Gonna probably top off to the full 1K that he's allowed to.
I'm very fascinated by this table talk right now. Because we got a very diverse group of players that Rich doesn't really know.
And I think with
Rich doesn't know Frankie
Right.
or Bird. And he's a character.
yeah,
And Daryl is just going to mix it up.
obviously
I feel like some of the new kids are going to get uncomfortable by this game.
yeah.
But, like, Frankie doesn't seem uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Frankie's used to playing these types of games, playing some bigger games. So this is definitely not an uncomfortable spot for him. But I believe with a Bird, Rich CB, and I forgot the gentleman's name in the 7th seat, they're probably not in the most comfortable position knowing how splashy this game is.
CB is nails. This man has seen it.
Shane in the 7th seat, yeah.
Yeah. This is what I've been hoping for. Look at that face. He folded. But Shrek wants to make a move. Just look at him.
Shrek doesn't have cards.
I know.
Oh.
He folded.
Yeah, and the reason he
But he
folded...
wants to make a move.
Yeah. Again, CB middle position. CB hasn't been playing too many hands, so for him to open middle position, you got to think he's somewhat strong, even though his actual hand holding is not that strong.
Oh, with 10-7 diamonds, he's getting out of line.
And
This is CB getting out of line.
yeah, and I think Duck Patrick would normally 3-bet Jack 10 suited out of the blinds, but again,
I'm surprised he did.
yeah, and I think he's playing a cautious route with that.
You should
Because
squeeze.
CB hasn't opened, but again,
All right. Okay.
here's what's crazy. This is definitely not, the king is a very good board for CB
He's gonna check.
for his opening range, since he hasn't been opening a ton, but he definitely theoretically doesn't have a significant range advantage, but for his actual hand holding, it flops pretty much the world.
Yeah.
Give me a minute, I'm fixing to order.
Yeah, I know you. Thanks, brother.
I think you had a hand.
I got you, Nick. I always do. Let's just say that. Even when you beat me or I beat you, I still got order for you.
Thank you, brother.
I'm glad you did the club or any of the other 72 out of 10. You had a 9 in your hand.
You have to admit, I had to call.
6 bet 85.
I didn't realize you had the clubs. I just thought you had the straight draw.
Yeah, I love the bluff. Very value heavy. It's that's a sizing on the again. Nick doesn't have much, so he's not calling there. That's a very neutral sizing on the river, about half pot. You can make the case that that's more of a blocker bet than a value bet here, trying to get called by you know. CB only has 10 high there with missed diamond draws, missed straight draws.
I think we asked him.
Yeah.
30 and 30.
I think it's a great size.
70, 70s, 49. He should.
And again, with CB not getting into too much of the action initially, for him to, raise pre-flop, barrel multiple streets, he's probably not bluffing there.
All that is either will or won't. It's always 50.
I love using image.
That hand actually was.
Talk about the play, but don't talk about percentage.
I don't know. But it looks correct based off of this. Nick getting the V-pip up with 7 deuce in the cutoff.
That's for the hand he gave me. We were talking about the flop. But that's for what I heard. Right,
Bird. I want to see if you got bird. Hey, look at this. Frankie's thinking about it. Frankie's thinking about 3-bet bluffer in the flats. Okay.
Yeah, and again,
That's fine.
Ace
I
Jack.
saw in his face that he was thinking about.
I think if it's against a player like Daryl or Shrek or Nick, he 3-bets that hand because
Rich hadn't done much.
you don't really want to be playing Ace Jack offsuit out of position. But again, with Rich opening under the gun, not playing too many hands.
Yeah. This is one of those things.
Yeah.
This is a razor fold.
Yeah, and with that being said, Frankie knows that. He knows that Ace Jack offsuit doesn't play well post flop. A lot of times you want to use that hand as a squeeze hand, but when Rich hasn't been playing hands, and the hands that he has played at the gun, the showdown, he's won with pretty nutted hands. So for him to open under the gun, it's going to kind of send alarm bells to Frankie.
Yeah.
He has all the ace king, but I think he did not bet the flop.
Watch this. Bird has king 10 of clubs. Nick has 7 deuce. 7 of clubs. The deuce of hearts.
Also, I thought you heard me.
But he's going to river 2 pair. Watch this. He's going to call.
If you're going to bet,
He's going to river 2 pair. Do it. Let's do it. Watch this. Duck. No one runs better than Nick. Alright, that didn't work out. Maybe we'll throw a blow.
Bet 125.
Who did?
Bird. Yeah, Bird hasn't barreled too many streets. So for him to turn bet river, I don't know if he bet flop. I'm not sure. He probably just flatted pre-flop. I know that Rich was the original raiser pre-flop. I don't recall the flop action. I don't know if it went check around, but for Bird to double, yeah, okay, yeah. I knew Rich had queens, but for Bird, who hasn't played a lot of hands, it's really funny the dynamics of this table. So you have 4 splashy players: Nick, Shrek, Daryl, and Patrick at times, and Frankie can be at times, and then you have 3 to 4 tighter players that haven't been playing a ton of hands, in Bird, Rich, CB, and Shane. So it's a really quote unquote balanced table in terms of play. So I know the splashy players, when Rich, Shane, CB, and Bird get into hands, they're literally making moves and bluffing, knowing that those guys are not going to get to turn a river or get the showdown without a hand.
And the guy was bragging me how he was a Nick. Bragging me. I'm like, damn, man, Nick, who was called? We were playing the same game. When I sat down, I went to the booth. They came back and they made
I'm not gonna slow the rate down. My bad. Sorry.
No.
7, bet 35.
Ooh, Shane betting 6-5 suited middle position. That's going to get some folds. Probably not from Nick. Has actually a pretty decent hand in later position. Hand that can flop well and play well post flop. Yeah. Definitely think Shane definitely has to barrel here with a flush draw. Let's see what sizing he uses. 40. Half size pot bet. I think Nick's gonna float. Yeah, Nick's gonna float. Has an overcard to the board, some backdoor straight draws. Again, he may fold here. Shane hasn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Shane hasn't played. Shane hasn't played hands. He's got to know that his 10-8 suited is not very good, even though it actually is the better hand there. He's got to know that when Shane raises pre-flop in middle position again and leads flop on a 9-high board with 2 hearts, Nick knows he's. Yeah. And again, yeah. And so obviously with his hand, he's definitely continuing there, even if he didn't with a heart draw and backdoor straight draws. Nick, I guarantee you, if Daryl was the aggressor pre-flop, or if Shrek was the aggressor pre-flop, Nick's peeling off the turn, 100% against Shrek and Daryl, yeah. But against a player like CB Shane, probably not. I don't recall playing against him. I played with everybody at this table. Oh, there you go.
Nick 4 bets to 100 with 6-5.
That's the thing. Usually, the RFI does. Good flop for Nick. Flops bottom pair, gutter to straight. Check with not much of anything. Just so, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, surprised that he checks flop. I think he's concerned about order. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Oh, it looked like he checked for a second. Ooh, interesting. Nick checks back flop.
Now,
It's very polarized. Yeah. Very polarized bet here on the turn. Yeah. And again, three betting out of position. This is really a board that favors Nick's cold calling range from pre-flop. Nick with the best hand with bottom pair. Let's see if Shrek decides to rip it here. Stack the pot ratio. Yeah. Yeah. So stack size isn't correct.
It's bad for me.
I know that sizing is.
And the river doesn't even really matter. You just gonna have to jam. If you're gonna go with a bluff on that turn, you're just jamming river. Pretty much any river. And that's why this is diabolical way he shows it.
Shows the bluff. You know, a lot of times when players show the bluff like that, it sets them up for future hands when they have nuts, when they're nutted. That, yeah, Lucas. So, yeah, Shrek, when he's nutted, especially against a player like Nick, next time he shoves a river like that, he's gonna have the nuts.
Great read. I mean, great read. But pulling the trigger on a great read is a whole other thing. I feel your pain. Every time you land the heavy play in the hand, whatever you do.
Amongst people in this they could really talk about being tomorrow and
175 and the 212. Yeah, about 3/4 pot. 70%.
Oh no, Lucas either had the absolute nuts there or nothing.
was for him. And then there's just bros make it go. And these guys are just gonna talk about it tomorrow.
Lucas did. Tread lightly. Tread lightly there.
Ooh, Daryl just electing a call king queen suited in the cutoff. Surprised he didn't open there. I have a feeling this flop was going to go super multi-way. Oh wow, Daryl with the royal flush draw, duck with the Broadway draw.
You're not gonna make any money. Hey audience, Daryl and I are rivals. If he and I, we're just gonna talk around each other all the time. Great free flop.
No, you got it for the stream too.
No, I got it for my daughter. Check around.
Yeah, he checks. Daryl checks.
8.
I check through.
It works. Duck has the name like
This?
ducks on there.
That way they don't call me by
Bet
the other
35.
name. Don't give me my name wrong, Matt.
Call 35.
Hold on, I'm in.
Fold.
He's out now.
Fold. Action on 3.
Hold on.
You got it. You got it.
One down. He's got back fence right there.
You can order anything you want. 3, call 35.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you this. Yeah, but I don't think Daryl's gonna raise here on a paired board. Yeah, not against CB, against Shrek, against Nick, against Duck. Yeah, probably. I think he's no. So maybe it looks like he's contemplating maybe a raise here.
Yes.
But what worse is going to call him with? Maybe a 4. Yeah. But I think if he raises here, obviously we know the whole cards. Yeah, he's going to raise. Going to make it 225. That's a really good sizing. Yeah. Very, very good sizing there, especially specifically trying to target a 4 or an ace there. Got really good value out of that hand. Picks up about 400. Daryl chipped lead up. Yeah, close to nearly 4K. Frankie with 2.5, all the way down to we have, Nick about 500. Probably going to top off at some point. Shane with 6.
Daryl's gonna watch this later, so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this right. Daryl does really well in the first few hours of this, right? And then 6 in the morning. He knows.
Keeps the game going.
Eric, sorry, this is Ed. Can you hear me? This is Ed. Dan, talk real quick.
Check.
Yeah. Maybe we sound the same on the stream. I don't know. So, I was told earlier that on our mic checks and our sound checks that we were both fine. So, again,
Can't hear Dan. Eric.
I think we're good.
All right, this is bad radio. I like the comment. All right.
we'll check. Yeah. So, not sure. Hold on. We're trying to check the sound. Interesting flop. Rich with 2 pair. Not much of anything other than top pair for Daryl. Yeah, and again, this is a really scary board. It's connected in terms, obviously, in the sense of all spades and straight draws out there. Nick's probably going to peel one, knowing that he needs a 5 to bink. But really, Nick probably shouldn't be calling here. He's got reverse implied odds, knowing that he only has 3 clean outs with a 3 spade board. It's a brick, theoretically, in relation to this board. Now, a hand like 10-9 picks up additional outs.
I know the least.
Let's see what sizing Rich uses on the turn. On the turn. Yeah, bets half pot, neutral sizing, trying to target 1 spade holdings. Maybe a 7, maybe some potential straight draws that picked up additional equity on the turn. Yeah, I don't think Daryl likes his spot right now. Again, Rich hasn't been playing good. Wisely lays his hand down. Yeah, knowing that Rich hasn't double barreled. That's not a good card for either player. Brings it. See what sizing he uses. If he's gonna bet, he probably needs to bet like 250. I don't know if he's gonna snap. I think he tank calls. Yeah. Okay, snap calls 165. Good.
Oh yeah. I love the enthusiasm. That's a bad card for Rich. Rich's specific hand.
Right.
But the line. And a guy like Rich.
It was funny the other day when I dealt that. Literally like all 9 of them had their damn phone out. 9, 7 of them had their phone out.
Right. Now, to be honest, I probably don't. I mean, I tank call there. I don't snap call because Nick has a lot of 5s in his range because that river card brings in a 4-liner to a straight with a 5 need there. So there's also other better 2 pairs. Again, if it was a player like maybe me or you or Frankie, I still don't think he's folding 2 pair there. But I think he has to actually think about the decision.
Special dynamics.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
I mean, the game rules are roll away on the win. But I'm just saying, call 25.
We got Shrek and sixes.
I could see him making a move here.
Too late, he just splattered. Are you?
And pocket six is obviously looking to set line there. I think he had considered maybe three betting there, but again, with the bird in the hand, Frankie in the hand, he doesn't like three betting with sixes there. So let's see. Daryl C betting his entire range.
Will lead multi-way
Yeah.
with top.
And this is a hand that you can lead multi-way. He bets half pot into, I think it's about 130 pot. Generally speaking, if you're going to bet multi-way and you're leading out, especially specifically out of position, you want to take a smaller sizing. So he elected to use half size pot bet. Let's see what bird here. I think he's probably going to check raise. Yeah. No, I think he has to raise here now. Yeah. Yeah.
Nick is blocked out. He's gonna get the door slammed on the glass right. Maybe he gets trapped here and just gets called.
Bird just calls a trap.
Bird is letting Daryl call behind him.
Now, I don't like Bird's flat there, and the reason I don't like his flat there against two aggressive players, right, where they have flush draws. Yeah, he has he's brought Broadway there, but that turn brought an additional backdoor flush draw, and you want to try to deny equity in two.
It's actually low. Yeah, but TikTok's cool though. 55. There's so much stuff on there that you never see people do. I do a lot of integral stuff.
Right, 300. Insta call, 300. Yeah, you made it out there before you.
Farquaad, this is Ed. Can you hear me? Sorry, again, that's a second one we heard. I'm gonna get somebody in the booth to hopefully do a sound check real quick in the middle of this. We're picking up a nice little pop, pushing them past the 1K mark. Okay, Farquaad, thanks. We'll let them know that. Again, sorry for those of you in the view not in the chat not being able to hear Dan. He's provided some really good commentary tonight, giving us the table dynamics of these players that he's played against over the past 5-6 months. So. Table Dynamics talking about social media platforms, specifically TikTok. Now, again, for those of you that know, we have Mr. Frankie from NextGen in seat 4, part of the NextGen group with Rosie and Jack, have the largest TikTok poker following on the TikTok platform, and nearly, I think, 190,000 subscribers. And they have just partnered up with us here at Poker House, and looking to create a very synergistic partnership with them in terms of growing our room, in terms of growing their base. I know over the past 2 weeks since they've been here, we've seen an uptick in players, especially in that age demographic between 18 and 35. I'm going to step out of the booth for just a second and make sure Eric's going to do a little test on the mic. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. In 15 minutes since the chip counts are on, wow, this is really loud.
Yeah. But they were saying they couldn't hear him. Maybe I'm too loud. So I'll lower my table mic down a little bit. Farquaad Eric, can you guys hear Eric now? He is in the.
So this is Eric. Just a reminder for those of y'all who don't play every week, this is an auto post game. Your money goes in the blinds, whether you're here or not. I know the food's coming. I just don't want somebody to come back and go, what happened? It just keeps the game moving faster.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick had texted me specifically about doing that, and I said, you know what? I think it'd be kind of fun. I said, so I asked him, just out of curiosity, what's the purpose of doing? He's like, just to mix the game up, put people in different positions. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let Eric go switch over here. So and then test the stream out while I step out.
I think the button moved twice.
Hey, how about now? Can you hear me now? It might be just a quick button. So on here, one person, but heard somebody say they were leaving the room. So I'm going to turn down the table mic way down. All right, now we don't have that distracting table mic behind us. This is Eric on microphone 3. Can you guys hear me right now? And you guys are on like probably a 30-second buffer delay. So as soon as you can hear me, pop up there and let me know. And nobody's saying anything, so they might not be able to hear me still. There's we can hear Eric on number 3. Thank you. And then my beautiful wife just gave me the thumbs up, so we're good.
All right.
And you can hear Eddie on mic 1.
Yeah.
We have yours. It was just a button that did not get pushed, so I pushed it, and we're working now. I'm going to turn that table mic up just a little bit. So if you didn't hear me, NextGenPoker says, let's go, Frankie. If you didn't hear what I just announced just now, which is 15 minutes in the future, we did an exact chip count. When the players buy in and they don't tell Craig running the action tracker that they bought in for another 500, the chip counts get off. So we paused the game for a minute. We did an exact chip count, and then to make the game fun, we did a random redraw of the whole table. So everybody's going to be sitting in a different spot. Frank Brown says blurry. What's blurry? Is the camera blurry or is my voice blurry?
Fun little board here. Frankie taking Queen's multi away to the flop on a board, reading 3 deuce 4 9 with 2 hearts.
Rich is open-ended. Shrek's got a gut shot. If he gets past those two, I don't think anybody has much to play with. Bird is not going to come along with bottom pair. So Frankie called pre-flop, and then he called the flop, and then when Bird checked on the turn, he went out ahead and led. So Frankie played that one very passively, trapping. Good job, Frankie. Frankie's up to 2,600 according to these chip counts, which are not accurate. Daryl came back to the table and says, I've never had 4K. No, you're good. Dan, I fixed it. It was a button, so people can hear you now. Really?
He's got a pee.
Really? Yeah. So they caught you.
Nick's wife said she could hear me great. Okay. Dan doing solo. Nick on the dealer button with King Jack off. I think he's gonna get a walk, I guess. Daryl still didn't know how to put his cards on the reader.
Daryl's the worst. He wouldn't do that at all.
I've told him twice. Yeah, his cards were terrible anyway. What? Can't put a bet in here now, Nick. Doesn't make any sense. Your king high's good though. Yep. Dale's calling you. We don't know what he has. Now Nick's good. Oh, too big. Doesn't matter. Yep. Daryl's folding. Brian, what did Daryl have? Nick's at 91%. Where are those stats at? Who are reading these off?
Redeeming myself.
Sorry, folks in the audience. The graphics. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, but he already doubled back up. He's positive for the day.
Rich under the gun.
Crazy thing is 19 is
He's going to flat. Jack 7 off. Shane's going to flat. Shrek folds. Graphics are catching up. Nick raises to 30 with queen 3 hearts. I like it.
Look, if you're gonna play queen 3, you're gonna probably should be opening it.
Yeah. Just get aggressive with it. But I know Nick pretty well. Jack plus suited, premium. I want to see Bird. What is Frankie doing flatting here? All right, that's fine. I guess he's got to check now. Yeah?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be checking out a position, especially not being the pre-flop aggressor.
Someone folded. Oh, no. Frankie led for 60. I love it. Sexy. Oh, shit. Sorry.
You're fine.
Pardon me. Nick's got backdoor hearts and backdoor straightenings. There it is. Ain't going nowhere now. Open-ended. What is Frankie gonna bet here into 273? 150. Okay. This is interesting. Nick's got 8 outs, right? He's got like 17% equity. He's getting 3-1. He needs like 25% equity, right?
Let me see here.
I'm not bad at this. I'm bad at this math, is what I mean. But he could bluff here.
I don't think I don't think Frankie's too worried about that diamond.
You don't think so?
Yeah. I think he checks there with intent of calling.
Frankie checked. This is just anytime you check to Nick on a river, wide open door. That's not big enough to get this through. Love you, Nick. You're getting called here, buddy. I mean, right?
Right. It's a really good sizing.
Nick said good call. Who is YouTube live?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anybody else care? Yeah, let's just do it.
Give me 1 through 9. Give him the 5 seat, so you'll stay
Do you
there.
want to stay or no, Rich?
So, for those of you who know, and just to add a little twist to this game, what they're doing is they draw for seats before the live stream,
Correct.
and to mix it up for this specific stream at the 2-hour break or 2-hour mark, they are now going to switch seats up, give opportunity for players to kind of mix it around a little bit, make it a little fun.
We're all very suspicious about how people sitting right behind us are going to play against us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And especially these dudes.
And here's the thing. If you ever see me seat changing at a table, it's not because I'm not playing well in my specific seat. A lot of times I try to get to the left of the most aggressive player to kind of slow him down.
We all do.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
from a strategic standpoint, if you are to the right of someone that's really aggressive, you're in a really gross spot.
Yeah.
So, okay, looks like... Okay, so they are switching right now. Okay.
Yeah. So the dealer is going to deal a card out, and you're going to move to that new spot. So give him a card.
So again, they're going to be moving seats. Eric and Craig are going to get the correct chip counts from everybody.
You think Brian's going to do this right?
Duck, yours is going to stay in 2. Give Daryl a card. Daryl, you're going to...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to keep the 5. Rich? Yeah, give him the card.
Does this stack of red mean that Nick rebought?
Okay, give Frankie a card. Frankie, you're going to go to 8. And then leave
Yes. Audience, we are reseeding a cash game.
Something you don't typically see, but again, one of the things we're trying to do here at Poker House, trying to make these games a little more juicy, a little more fun, is trying to add some fun twists to the game. Yesterday, this was a game that yesterday's game was a 1-2-5 match to stack with the lowest VPIP getting booted off. Again, unfortunately, we didn't have enough players for that to happen, but we did just announce that game about 24 hours prior to that game
You
kicking
said
off.
someone got booted off?
Yeah, so yesterday's game was a 1-2-5 VPIP game. So and the two players with the lowest VPIP get booted.
No way.
Yeah. And so actually I
Oh
think
my God, I love that.
so actually, and then next week, what I got a suggestion that, let's say you're one of the two lowest players with the two lowest VPIPs,
I am.
right?
Correct.
We'll give you an opportunity at the hour to buy back your seat by paying a table a bounty, maybe $25 to $35 per. So you could be stuck for the first hour, right?
I don't
And
like
say-
that.
And say, hey, look, I'm stuck. It's a splashy table. It's a juicy table. I want to try to get my money back. Hey, pay a bounty to 25. Basically like a stand-up game. Hey, so we have now Chad in the booth stopping by. So I think he was one of the original one of the original viewers in the chat that made a comment about the overhead cam again. So just for what he specifically stated, we just ordered the overhead cam. It's going in this week. We're gonna have additional. Yeah. So obviously you in the chat. Actually, we do have time, so I'm gonna do this real quick. So give us a little picture of us in the booth. So, lighting's interesting. So, but that's Dan, myself, Mr. Chad right there. Say hi. So, again, I don't want to touch too many buttons, but showing Chad here in the booth. This is all our setup in terms of the booth. This specific keyboard operates the camera angles. And so right now it's just a 4-port switch. And so what we did was we ordered a 6 or 8-port switch. We're gonna add a camera, overhead camera angle.
Can I just press all these buttons?
Those buttons you can actually press and be fine. So just give him a little view in the booth. Wanted to give him a shout out. So
These aren't doing anything. Doesn't matter.
I don't foresee anybody actually getting up from this table on the live stream, but definitely I think at the conclusion of this game, Patrick usually leaves, to go, he's got family and stuff like that. Some of these other players, I'll probably stick around. I know Daryl will probably be here till at the conclusion of this. I'll, chat with the players. I'm not going to play tonight.
4 p.m. Thursday.
Yeah. I will be coming back tomorrow because we're going to be doing some additional testing, getting some training in the action tracker. And when I get here tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Daryl will be here. I'd be willing to place a side bet on that. Dan, you want to take that side bet or no? No side bet?
No.
Yeah, good call.
Just because it's Wednesday.
Yeah. Chad, you want to jump in? You want to jump in for a good? Yeah. What's that? Okay. Saturday, I'm not 100% sure what the stream is on Saturday. That's one of the things where I think Chad made a comment that he's trying to play the stream on Saturday. I think we're doing multiple streams on Saturday. I think we're going to be doing there's a fun game for employees, and then I can probably get you in on this because now even though you're technically not an employee, but
They're not going to let me play.
no, there's a tag team event. Thanks, Chad, for coming and stopping by in the booth. There's a tag team event Saturday morning.
What does that mean?
It's a tag team tournament.
Who would play with me?
If I was going to be here, I have to drive to Houston for a little bit, so I'd play with you. It's supposed to be fun. It's like $125. The format's going to be interesting. So that specific tournament, and I'll
Wait,
jump back
really?
into the action. Yeah. So they're going to a tag team tournament where most tag team tournaments. I'm assuming you've never played a tag team tournament.
Nope.
Okay, so I've played a few of these. I've played about 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the way tag team tournament works, you register together as a team, right? And then you have to play, an orbit before the end of registration, or you have to pay X amount of hand before X amount of time.
Okay.
Okay. And then, you can tag in whenever you want to. I mean, you can't tag in the middle of a hand, but just at the conclusion of a hand. But usually the requirements that you just have to, interesting hand here developing. Shane with turning a flush draw. But on a paired board, value betting about 55-60% pot. Probably not going to get Frankie to call here. We just pair deuces on a flush board, paired board. Going to lay it down. And he lays it down. So usually, if you and I were playing a tag team tournament, the traditional rules are like, I'll play, you play, I tag you, and you tag me out, right? And then obviously it plays down. This tournament, interesting twist. Again, we're trying to do some fun stuff here at Poker House. This specific tournament, it's $125 per person. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, but the thing is, I'm going to play on one table. You're going to play on one table. So if you bust, you're going to have to buy in. It's going to be incentivized for you to rebuy in. And at the break, we combine our stacks and then we switch out after the end of registration.
All right.
That sounds fun.
That is a smart way to do it.
Yeah. So if I was going to be here on Saturday, you and I could play, but I'm gonna see if I can be here on Saturday. I need to go to Houston. I got to see my kids, and I can probably move that around a little bit. But that sounds like a really fun, interesting format to play a tag team tournament. I've never heard of a tag team tournament played in that manner, so makes it definitely interesting. So now,
Why in God's name would you pick me as your
it's fun, man.
tournament partner? I'm terrible at tournaments.
That's all right. I'll carry the lion's share.
Who in this place would be
If I were to
the
pick
top tag team of tournament people?
if I were to pick somebody specifically that's on staff.
On staff?
Yeah, it's an employee tournament, but technically, since you're commentating,
I missed that part.
yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
you could qualify because I'm technically not on staff, but I can play. If I were
of
to
course
pick,
you can.
Yeah, if I were to pick somebody specifically,
Katie.
no, I'd probably pick Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett.
Garrett's pretty solid. I played with him some tournaments, so
Garrett, if you're listening, don't. What is this? What is this, Daryl?
I mean, you know, when it's paired out there, it's less likely that a 9, somebody has a 9 holding. Shrek gonna call float with an ace.
God, I love it.
I think Shrek's gonna call here. He's open-ended now.
Oh, absolutely.
Six or jack on the river. Oh, gets there.
Daryl's gonna give up.
No,
He
there's no
isn't.
barrel.
Oh, he got beaten in the pot with whites.
Shrek with the snap call goes
With whites.
plays the backdoor equity, goes runner straight on a paired board. Snap calls, doesn't even think about it.
Absolutely. Daryl knew that Shrek didn't have anything. And he runner to straight.
Yeah, here are the updated chip counts. Frankie now with 2.8. Daryl, after losing that hand, down to 2.1. Bottom stacks, Nick, 1.1 after topping off, and CB just under 1,000. Did Nick put on the sunglasses? Oh, snap.
Those are specially made. I think those came with his car.
Maybe. CB with kings under the gun gonna open, probably gonna make a sizing of 30. That's a
Is he actually under the gun?
yeah, it's a relatively large size opening. Oh, Nick's gonna 3-bet. Looks like he's gonna make it.
I think CB was under the gun +1.
Was he? He may have been.
And this game, the standard open is 30.
Yeah, this is gonna be an awkward stack size. When Nick makes it 230, it
How much does
doesn't-
CB have?
Yeah, 8. That's a 900. So your stack to pot ratio, really in this scenario, if you're going to play this in, especially out of position to Nick's 3-bet, you're going to have to shove it. Yeah, good
There he
shove.
goes.
I know Nick doesn't like this spot. Again, CB hasn't been playing a ton of hands, so for him to open for Nick snap calls.
I say the same thing. I'm typically a one-timer, but if you want to go twice, I'm in the camp that it doesn't matter. Are we getting our second run here? Nick is
Yeah, Nick Jung's
gonna get scooped.
yeah, super thin.
Yeah. Nice little $901 pickup. Shrek is an animal out there. Salmon? I agree with you, Salmon. Probably not how you say your name.
It's Salman. I actually have a client.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm joking around with that guy.
You actually know who it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure. I probably know who it is. Do they play here?
I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. Nick with a short stack, probably going to reload again. And again, sometimes these chip stacks don't get updated on a periodic basis because sometimes the players fail to notify the person running the action tracker that, hey, I'm topping off, I'm adding on. So when we did this table switch and move seats around amongst the players, Eric and or Craig got accurate update.
I feel like that's with every poker stream, though.
Correct.
I feel like the bike guys and Bart, they're like, yeah, his stack's not right in the graphic.
Now, with that being said, those types of even our local room, across town, TCH, and even bigger streams like the Law, Hustler Live Casino, Commerce.
Are they good at that?
No, they actually have a production team. So
Like a 4-man team?
yeah.
Gotta make him sweat next time. Spike an ace even if you don't have one. Charlie felt great about those boards. The 2 6s were kind of scary.
About anything till the money gets tipped over. I'm a realist. Anything can have extra.
Charlie, that was nice.
And I just got delivered Whataburger from courtesy of Daryl. I think he actually only offered because I didn't call him out on the stream and said he played his Queen 9 very well. Right.
No. Daryl orders Whataburger every Wednesday. It's the best.
No, Daryl's a
It's
good.
great.
Daryl's a good guy. He's a fun
It's
guy.
great because there's a Whataburger right next door to Poker House Dallas. If that's, you know,
But he will in 15
a little
minutes.
marketing.
Dan got to run it twice to hit a queen on both boards to win.
Why is Doug talking about me and my queens?
On both boards? That was you. I'm sorry. I forgot that.
Daryl makes it 20 onto the gun. Ace Jack off.
If I played as good as Dan did, I'd win a lot more.
I am not gonna lie. I did not know.
You
we
can
were
hear
so-
them talking about me, right?
No. I didn't realize I'm eating on the stream. I saw the camera.
You put the camera on.
I forgot to turn it off. I didn't realize I was eating on the stream. I put my mic on.
That's
mute.
a big bite.
Yeah, and as soon as I see that, I like drop my burger and I'm like, uh-oh. So, Carrie, thank you for your comment. I am now turning off the camera in the booth.
Oh, Shrek.
That was pretty
This is
funny.
going to be sneaky as hell. Daryl is going to lose money. He continues. He opened under the gun. He got 4 callers. He sees a flop of ace 4 rainbow. He continues for 60. Shrek is going to raise to 200. What could this be? Daryl is in the blender because Shrek could really be doing anything. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, God. I think Daryl led jammed. I think he did. Oh, no. He really stepped in it. Daryl open jammed on the turn. And this is just a blunder. This happens to all of us, right? Daryl has this lovely opening hand under the gun. And then someone makes it 200 to your continue on the flop with a 4. Turns the house, right? And you kind of just like,
Casino player used chips in a more weaponized.
can't have a house here, right? So,
That's a really tough spot.
right?
Daryl's not putting Shrek on a 4 again. We've seen him play on a couple streams.
I want to tell everybody on the audience tonight, Shrek is not his real name, okay? His name is Lucas. And he is a wild man and can have anything. So Daryl could never put him on 4-5, right? Who knows? Let's hear what he says.
I'm definitely not open jamming the turn there. You know, maybe for value, maybe get. And then if he calls turn, you have to like really slow down on the river.
That's what Daryl just said. He's not supposed to have a 4 there.
And again, with that being said,
But it's Lucas. And he goes by Shrek.
I think
That's unimportant.
I think if he jams in a spot like that,
Daryl open jamming the turn.
yeah,
I'm not making judgments. I'm just trying to remember what the action was.
Duck's not making judgments.
I folded like 10-4, guys.
Ed, we're not making judgments.
yeah, it's on a weird board like that, especially on a paired board. Even though you have an ace, your kicker's not that great. You probably don't want to be open jamming turn. Because what's worse is gonna call you? Nothing. So maybe he was hoping to deny equity and pick up the pot at that point.
A little more approachable than that 5-5-10 game. Yes.
Wait, it's 25.
Although that was a good game for you. Yeah, exactly. If you want to get into some big
Looks like Duck open flatted fours under the gun. Fine with it. Nick makes it 25. King Jack off.
Maybe he's gonna get sneaky and
King
limp
Queen
raise.
off.
Maybe
Sorry.
get sneaky and limp raise.
Nah, not with fours. He just wants to see you flop.
Yeah.
Try to set mine here.
And the thing is, with fours, oh wow, Nick flopping the world, flop 2, on a
He's gonna make it too much.
pretty dry board.
He's gonna bet out a turn.
But I'm gonna check.
All right, he makes it 95 into 103.
That's a really polarized bet on the flop. Maybe he's worried about handing like Jack 10. Pretty disconnected board. Disconnected board in the sense of Badoogie board.
Strong hand, better strong.
Only hand
Daryl
you're
called him.
really concerned about is really Jack 10 there.
Daryl can't call now. Whoa.
Frankie. Chris asked if there's an open seat. He did. You can tell me and go scab into the rest. He said he's here. That's fine.
Dan, are you enjoying your time in the booth again?
What?
So are you enjoying your time in the booth again?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Of course. That big old long delay was just to mess with you. And
Fair enough.
I was going to say, this is a small closet.
It's a very small closet.
And if I got to stay on the microphone
Nobody feels pressured.
and also pee. Oh, wait. Here we go. Bird. 25.
If you want to, and
Nick.
everyone agrees.
A little connector. A little offsuit connector. Right?
Nick's going to call.
Frankie's gone.
Two people pressuring the third to do
Daryl can still not put his cards on the reader. Duck's definitely in there with sixes. From third blind, from the $5. All right, Daryl with queen nine off. Totally normal. Duck set mining with sixes. And no one, it's not great. Here's what I'd like to see happen. I'm fine with that. I love that Carrie is on the chat watching you eat a water burger.
She was. I took myself off
That's
the camera.
a big bite.
Yeah.
It's a big bite, Ed.
Thank you
Daryl,
for letting
Daryl,
me
you
know.
don't. Daryl. Oh God.
Oh,
And he
Daryl.
checked.
Okay, now I'm going to bust him because this is the second time.
It's gonna check through.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
2 out of 3 times that he's lost value on Queen 9.
Yeah.
He played it very well earlier on. I bet you he's going to make a oh, wait. Did he
What's
go?
the
he jammed?
graphic going on here?
He must have jammed.
What? Oh,
That is your favorite hand. You never can fold that hand.
Duck's right.
Let's see if Daryl makes a comment about me.
Where?
Just about and the Queen 9.
Everyone knows he loves Queen 9. You hear that? You hear that, Ed?
I did. And thank you, Carrie, for letting me know that I was got me right-handed.
All right.
Carrie, have you come up to play at Poker House yet?
What? His name's not Shrek. He's got $3,500 somehow. I should remember where all this comes from, right?
Who?
We're the
Shrek?
we're the arbiters. The
Well, Shrek, that he won the
Arbiter.
icon against
it's trees. Arbitrationists.
Carrie. I don't know if, okay,
Who's Carrie?
I don't know, but she let me know, so I'm going to get her on the stream to play live stream.
Just let her watch you eat a burger.
I know. Hey,
What
something.
up, Carrie?
Carrie, I'm going to Facebook message you.
Bird. Don't do it, Bird.
No, I like the 3-bet.
No, what I'm saying is get rowdy now. There should be way more 3-betting in this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This is a flop. Even though you're the 3-better, you can elect to c-bet your entire range. But if you're going to c-bet this flop, you're going to bet small.
Daryl knows why he drives me crazy. It's fine. And he'll lead. He'll lead into you. Oh, thank God. Bird's not going to get pushed around. He went check.
Deuce of bluff. Yeah.
Come on, Bird.
Here's the thing on this board.
He has to call.
Ace. Yeah, he's definitely calling.
What is it, 125?
Yeah, I don't know if he's
Three-
thinking. If he's, I don't know how you can pull top
350?
pair unless he's worried about a flush draw.
He's going to fold. Oh, God.
Must have been worried about the flush draw there.
I'm going to pile out of this booth and deck Daryl. Wait, why does he only have $700? Daryl. Chip up, homie.
I think he did. I think they brought in some chips earlier, but they haven't. Yeah, I think he's chipped up.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely chipped. He's got some black and he's got stack of green, stack of red. So
If not, let's shame him.
surprise Bird folding top pair there. Again, the only thing that's really beating you, and the thing with the specific holding with the king 10 of hearts. Yeah, he had top pair, mediocre kicker. But I think based off that line, I think you have to call the top pair.
Everybody take care of her. She takes care of us.
Everybody take care of me.
Yeah, you gotta pay Daryl back too.
Yeah, it was $112.
Yeah. How many people ordered?
Were you paying cash or chip?
How many people?
I
Everybody
would
ordered?
prefer cash.
Cash. I got
Yeah,
cash.
so I would prefer like cash. Everybody got a deal. It's like $15 plus delivery. Yes, they cost more money when you order them. Yeah.
Do you have a change for her?
Not yet. Give me this. That's all you have. It is fine.
Call.
Yo, getting a little bit of his chips back. Lost a big pot to Lucas / Shrek earlier.
Raise. 25. Call. Call. Call.
Going 4 ways to the flop. Ooh, Shrek flopping middle set here.
That's it. Eddie. I'll take it.
getting caught up on the action here. Uh-oh. Wonder if the action tracker's not picking up the whole cards. Let's see what happens on the next hand if it doesn't pick up here. No, that Lucas has middle set. Must be on the turn now.
Cheeseburger with everything, guys.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that the whole card's not showing up. Really can't give you some analysis or commentary. But again, I do know that Lucas flopped middle set on a 2-4-6 board. I believe it was 2 diamonds, 4 diamonds, 6 of hearts, I believe. Oh, at least I know the camera's working, so let's see. Let's see. Hopefully the whole cards pick up. The last game the whole cards were on, and then they disappeared. So they're not reading right now.
Normally when you get fours,
Did you order grilled chicken?
you're doing fine.
I'm just saying that.
You're doing 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry again. The whole card's not picking up. I have summoned Mr. Eric Anderson to let him know that the whole cards aren't picking up. There is a possibility that we may have to reboot the stream, so I apologize for that. But if that's the case, I feel like I can convince the table to go into overtime on the stream. And again, for those of you in the chat, haven't had the opportunity to play up here, come up and play up here. We have multiple games. I think right now, about half an hour ago, we had about 7 or 8 tables going. Mixture of 1, 2 bomb pots. I believe they may be getting a mixed game going. I didn't get the text specifically. And then there was about 3 tournament tables. There was three tournament tables at the time when they did the table redraw about 45 minutes ago. I have Craig in the booth, hopefully trying to fix this specific issue that we're having with the RFID cards not registering. I think I'm going to step out of the booth for the meantime, see if Craig and maybe or Eric come in here and fix it. So
Oh, it got cheese on it?
That's probably his, Nick. Oh, wait, is it that mayonnaise? Oh, that's not yours, Nick.
35.
It has mustard.
Nick, it's on you, buddy.
I know. Sorry. No, that's just meat and cheese.
Nick,
How much is it?
35.
Thanks for ordering. I
Call.
appreciate it. No problem.
That's why I didn't say call.
Did I get yours right?
That's why I didn't say call without looking.
Call. check it down when I have 10-9 there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna be back live now. We're gonna be on a 15-minute delay. We replaced the deck, so hopefully that's gonna solve the issue, but you won't see it on your end for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So bear with us as we iron through our kinks again. Again, we're still relatively new to the live stream arena. So Dan and I will fill you in with some dead air, some of us talking a little bit. So again, this game is a 1-2-5 1K
Yeah.
and at the break or at the 2-hour mark, the halfway mark, we redrew for seats, and so everyone's locked in for the seat for the rest of the evening, for the rest of the
stream till 10?
stream. Now, I just walked out there as they were working on this. We have a very busy room this evening. So,
Oh, man.
Yeah, we have about 8 or 9 cash tables going on, a mixture between majority of them 1, 2, about 2 or 3 bomb pot tables.
Doesn't feel like a Wednesday.
And 2 remaining tables for Katie's weekly game. Had a total of 46 players with a prize pool of just under 4K, so smashing the guarantee of 3K. 14 players remaining left in that tournament. I was actually going to potentially play that tournament.
Katie's the best.
Yeah, but when I knew I had the opportunity to jump in the booth with Dan, I couldn't pass it up. So
Yeah,
I went playing this tournament to be quote unquote lead commentator tonight, and Mr. Simone to my at my side. I guess I should say at his side. So yep, that's Chris Mays saying that tomorrow is a Chris Mays tournament. And I believe tomorrow is the first day we have changed the format of that tournament. Before, that tournament used to be $140 buy-in with a $100 add-on. And a lot of people let Chris know that they weren't a big fan of add-on tournaments. I'm not a particular fan of add-on tournaments. I feel like it disincentivizes players to play well before we're in the registration. And so the only reason I hadn't played his tournament up to this point, not because I don't like Chris Mays, I actually love Chris Mays, great guy. One of our ambassadors here at Poker House Dallas, was the only reason I didn't play that tournament specifically is just with the add-on feature on it. Now that they are not having an add-on, I am more inclined to play that tournament tomorrow, as long as I'm not in the booth. But I don't think we're streaming tomorrow, but I think we're doing a variety of test runs. So again, for those of you in the chat, we're going to have multiple opportunities for you to play on our live stream, whether that be in some of our Wednesday tournaments, our Saturday tournaments, our Sunday tournaments, and also streaming cash games of various stakes throughout the week. 1-2-500, which is our normal, most popular game here at Poker House. A 1-3-1K max cap buy-in. A 2-5 stream, 5-5-10 stream, match the stack, and a 1-2-5.
When's that 5-5-10 game? Friday?
So tentatively, it's Friday. Now, with that being said,
You want to stake me?
you want to stake me? So I have a potential lineup that's willing to play.
All right.
However, I am not inclined to bring them in until we get the stream right, because I don't want to bring some high-profile players in that are looking forward to playing on a stream when we still are ironing out our kinks on the live stream. Again, we are relatively new to the live stream arena here at Poker House, so today we even got new headphones that for some reason just weren't working at the beginning of the stream, so I backed those out and went to the table mics, and so
God, my headphones sound great.
yeah. But going to be a fun tournament tomorrow. Chris, what's the guarantee on tomorrow's tournament? Is this still going to be a 3K? I don't remember what the guarantee was on it before. But also, in the next few weeks, I think 3 weeks from now, we will be running our 150K Daniel birthday bash tournament, where first place is going to be guaranteed a 1K, and if you double bag, meaning that if you take multiple bags to day 2, you will get an additional 3K for your bag. So it's really good bang for your buck. Tournament buy-in is going to be $500, with $420 going to the prize pool and $80 going to quote unquote the juice for staff and admin fees. Looking hopefully to smash that guarantee, maybe hopefully pushing it past $250,000. This past summer, the did the Summer Bash 100K guarantee and ended up doubling that just over a little over 200K. So
You talking about juice?
yeah, that's so for you non-tournament poker players, right? So when you buy into a tournament, there's a portion of it that goes to the prize pool. Usually 85% goes to the prize pool, and then the remaining 15% is called the juice, which is usually goes between staff, the house, and the dealers that deal the tournaments, and it goes to their respective downs that they get paid for when they deal throughout the duration of the tournament. So very good format for that tournament coming up in 3 weeks. We will be running satellites every Tuesday until the week of the tournament itself. And leading up to the tournament, I believe starting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll be running daily satellites. And those satellites will cost, I believe, $120. And then you can pay an additional $10. I think you get 15K in chips with 20-minute blinds. And then you do the staff add-on for an additional $10, get an additional 5K in chips. And that $10 goes to the staff dealing that tournament. And we will be awarding 1 in 5 seats. Yesterday, we had over 60. Actually, I think we had 60 players on the dot and gave away 12 seats. So already having about 30 to 35 players already lock up their seat for that tournament. Also, I believe starting tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, we will be doing the. They've actually famously branded it the Eddie flips. Are you familiar with those? Remember those flips that we did for the other tournament? So
I won one.
Yeah, I won one as well. I ended up selling the seat. I didn't get to play that.
Badass.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play the tournament itself because I guest commentated in the booth during the flight A, and I was asked to commentate for the duration of the tournament. So I opted not to play the tournament and get in the booth, and now I'm lead commentator tonight with you on my side. So it's turned out well. Again, that tournament itself.
Never gonna play tournaments
Yeah,
again?
no, I was hoping to get in tonight and get a little tournament into Katie's tournament, but didn't get the opportunity. Jumped at the opportunity to jump in the booth for this specific game, and then also though when I was told that you were going to be in the booth, thought it'd be fun for both of us to be in the booth together. But that tournament, the Danielle Birthday Bash, that's going to start on Thursday. We're going to have 2 flights per day. First starting at 10 o'clock, and the second flight of the day starting at 4 o'clock. So that's going to 4 o'clock is going to go well into the night. I believe last time with a very similar format, Craig and I were in the booth at 3 a.m. 3 nights in a row. So look to play, look to play very late into the evening. If you play those late shifts and you want to hopefully make it into day 2, we will be taking the top 10% to day 2. And if you make day 2, you automatically cash for the min cash. Obviously, won't know what that min cash is until the tournament itself and based off the number of entries. Mm-hmm. Dana, are you going to try and find that tournament? I know you're not a tournament guy.
I really can't see a reason or anything that would make me want to do that.
Fair enough.
Sorry to slam the door on you that hard.
No, and that's okay. I think you had qualified for a seat last time, and I remember
By doing an Eddie flip.
Yeah, by winning an Eddie flip, and you played it.
Yep.
And I remember coming up to you and saying you are probably on the worst table. I was like, you got stuck on the worst table in terms of tournament crushers A, and you probably had the worst seat position in that tournament.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you had some.
I got 5-bet
Yeah.
in my third hand.
Yeah, and so
It was incredible.
yeah, you were definitely.
I haven't been 5-bet in a cash game in like 3 months. No, that lady is so good.
Law. Yeah,
Yeah.
She's
Law.
She's actually down in Aruba right now playing a tournament with Rebecca Thompson and a number of other players I know. So
No shit.
yeah,
no way.
Yeah, she travels the circuit a lot and plays a lot of circuit events, Choctaw, Council Bluffs. Specifically, they go to this tournament obviously because it's in Aruba. Got the opportunity to spend some time with her and see her
Hold on
in
a second.
Vegas.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
What's Aruba? Oh, the Beach Boy song?
yeah. It's definitely Ireland.
Yeah. Island. Got it. You threw me off there for a second. I was like, what tournament? Nick folded?
You're so lucky, sir.
Don't slam the cards down. Those are expensive cards.
I'm hoping in the next 5 to 10 minutes you guys will see the cards pop up.
Oh, this is crazy. Patrick is talking to me 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's got in his ducky fanny pack. I bet it's gold.
Stop slamming the cards down. It breaks them.
Rich slammed the cards, and there's microchips in the cards. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, you know how expensive those cards are?
Yeah.
The decks?
Well, no.
How much? How expensive do you think they are to buy per pack?
Per deck?
Yeah, per deck. Guess.
I think they... Well, selling specifically to do streaming, they're $400 to $500.
No, they're $150 a deck.
Wow, that's less than I thought.
Yeah, but you still probably need about 20 decks.
Really?
Yeah, at minimum you need 10 to 15 because some cards.
I saw a dude split one in half
Yeah.
the other day because he bent it too
Yeah.
hard.
So actually, if you look at that card at the top right over there, on the that's a split card. That 6 of clubs right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ed's pointing to a card
Yeah.
that's on our desk that no one can see except me. And it is split. He's right. And I think Will Carter did that.
you know, it's not uncommon to happen.
What?
It's not uncommon. A lot of times with these decks, either the chip just stops working.
Yeah.
And you can just replace that specific card itself, or the card splits because it's thickness wise and all around wise, it's thicker and bigger than the standard deck that you see at our regular tables here at Poker House and
Most
table,
definitely.
any table in general. So, have you had the opportunity to play on a stream yet?
I played on this game
Okay, the very first week.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was so gingerly not bending the cards. I usually kind of, bend them up at the edges to see the, what they are. But I was so nice to them. I kind of, tilted them into my chips. No one else seems to do that. I'm very considerate. Oh, hey, look at this.
Oh, and we are back.
Look at this.
There we go. So the switching of the deck definitely helped out. So
Nicholas.
good hand.
Sevens.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Maybe too big.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a slightly tilt bet because you're never really going to open 300 on top of a $5 straddle.
Do we
Unless
miss Nick getting on tilt?
No, I'm not saying he's on tilt, but when you make those kind of sizes, you're like, hey, I don't want this hand to go to the flop, and I'll just pick up any dead money that's there.
Is he 3-betting though? Are the graphics behind
It could be.
somehow? I think it's folding around. Lucas folded. What is happening?
Okay, so it looks like.
Folks,
Uh-oh.
we all want more information. Oh, he slams. Oh, he's got. This is where he had quads. He told me about that. That's me. Nick was just talking to me.
Me and joking in the background because the nickname is GTO Nick when he is far from GTO.
Now, if you watched the stream last week, he made some
No, he's not. He's got it.
computer plays. There's a hand?
No, so in order to qualify for the high hand, Patrick made the correct statement. You actually have to drop for it. There has to be a drop.
The table doesn't have a drop slot.
So let's see how
Nick's bummed.
let's see how the next few minutes pan out in terms of the table reading the deck. Hopefully reading the deck.
Hey, don't mention the aces.
All I wanted to say was setting McGetty and
I am under the impression that we still have an issue because it didn't show Daryl's.
No, he's blind 10.
Now, with that being said, the reason the hand probably didn't show up because I know Craig was supposed to be on the action tracker, and so he had to come in here and hope and try to fix the stream. So let's see what happens here on this next hand. Looks like we're picking up. Nick getting a lot of his stack back now. I think he's well over 3K, looks like. There we go.
Bottom two for Bird.
Check. 30. You know what? Call.
I think Bird can just call here. It's a really disconnected board. Oh, he's going to go ahead and elect to raise here. Oh, did he just call? Raise it to 100. Good sizing.
I'm not real sure how this was a limped pot.
Rich definitely going to fold now after that line. Now going two ways to the turn where Shrek has top pair with a good kicker. Bird. Oh, wow. Shrek just gets his two pair counterfeited. Bird's going to lose the rest of his chips. Ah, luckily
Went check.
on the turn. Interesting.
Little check back.
Let's see what sizing Lucas is use here. If he's going to go polar, if he's going to go
125.
bet for value. 150, 175? 250.
Big.
Polar size bet.
Oh, Bird. This is a bummer, man.
I know he does not like that turn card. Yeah,
Can't get
but
away from this.
I still think he can't get.
He's pissed. Look, yeah.
Yeah, he's had a rough night.
This is unlucky.
Two pair gets counterfeited there.
No, it's less of a counterfeit.
Yeah, and that's the thing, especially
More
when you.
of Lucas hitting a 5-outer
Yeah,
on the turn. Yeah.
It's not uncommon when you flop bottom two pair, and when another player has a top pair to get your two pair counterfeited. So it's a tough spot for Bird to be in, especially with that run out right there. Don't think you're folding two pair there in most cases.
No. Well, I don't know. Like on that run out, what's 250 mean there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure specifically. That sizing was definitely for value. Not sure what he was specifically targeting. Maybe targeting. Again, he had the board pretty locked up with top two pair. Maybe targeting a hand like.
With the check back on the turn. Putting Bird on bottom
Yeah,
too is
surprise check back.
impossible. right? I'm not saying it's the wrong sizing or anything. Don't listen to me. I don't know. He got paid by bottom two, and he had top two. Feeling a six-way pot. What's just gonna happen?
A lot of the outs are eliminating themselves. So let's see what the flop brings. 5 ways to the flop, 200 in the pot. Oop. Brings flush draw, second nut flush draw to CB. Top pair with a good kicker.
Frankie. I love it. I think.
4 of clubs blank relative to this specific board. Frankie's probably going to check back here. Let's see if CB. Oh.
Did I miss the graphics? Who led?
Ooh. Maybe specifically targeting an ace on this hand. Going to use probably a small sizing. 125. 110. Slightly on the third pot. Yeah, with that turn going check, check, check.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to get called by much. Even with the flush draw coming in. Bird potentially could have called there. Maybe he was specifically worried about an 8. Obviously, now he's not beating much on a paired board. In with the flush draw, getting there on the river.
I think I missed a key moment in that hand.
Which one? With the where CB River is a flush?
Was he in position? How did that check through? Well,
He checked the second nut flush turn on the turn, so it checked to him.
was he
when
closing the action on the turn?
He was closing the action on the turn. He was on the button
Hey, yeah. Well,
or the cutoff. One
what
of
am I
the two.
talking about? You want a free card all day. I don't know what could be check raising you there. I guess plenty of stuff. Who knows anymore, man? Oh. Here's a move. Yeah, I guess not.
Heather, we have now fixed the card readers. Hopefully, are you able to see him on your end? Your man got paid off about 5-10 minutes ago when he had quad sevens.
Bird. Yeah, sure.
I just noticed that. That's pretty funny. Bird with 10-9 suited on the gun. It's a good hand to open. Again, I think he's got to be really leery this evening. Hasn't gotten to too many pots.
Blind 10 right behind him.
Oh, he must have straddled for the 5 and it wasn't put in.
Yeah. Who made it 30? Duck?
Oh, Duck flopping a really good hand here with the second nut flush draw, but also Bird doesn't know that his flush draw is dom. Oh no,
Gonna get stacked.
Bird's about to get stacked, and I think he's gonna go home after this. He just hasn't had a good stream. Ran bad all evening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got stuck in some
There's gonna be
gross
an
spot.
open seat after this.
If he busts, I mean, if I'm him based off the way my
Oh, that's an action killer. And now Doug's just gonna call. Oy. Don't like it.
yeah.
Oh, Doug raises. Oh, boy. He's out of here.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm not reloading.
Atta boy, Doug.
Maybe he is gonna reload. And if that's me and I'm having a tough nut like that,
Oh, I can open the door. This is 15 minutes ago. We're watching this. If he's out there when I open this
he's
door.
reloading.
Bird. You like that? I like that raise by Duck.
Yeah, that's an interesting raise though, especially when the board pairs.
No, I know. Like, most players are just flatting.
Correct.
And that's a raise for
Yeah.
value.
Now, with that being
He
said,
can get called by so much worse.
yeah. Here's the thing. I think if Bird had a bigger stack, I don't think he's raising there on the river. I think if Bird had 1,500 2K behind,
You think Duck is just put it in because
yeah,
Bird doesn't have that much left?
correct. I think he only had about 200 left. Bird reloading for the full 1K.
We like that.
Yeah. So hopefully, he can get off the tilt. I know I had a couple bad beats over the weekend.
Really?
And yeah, there was a hand. I had ace king suited,
Yeah.
and I had so many aggressive players to my left. I thought about just raising there, but I decided to limp with the intention of limp back raising. Everybody just limped, so I get a flop. I get a flop of king 4, so I think I'm super nutted, right? Check, and then I just
Hold
flat
on, you
call.
aren't?
What's that? Yeah,
You
check.
aren't super nutted?
Yeah, I thought I was super nutted, and then I check call. There's 2, 3 to the turn.
Yeah.
I check again with the intention of check jamming because of what my stack size depth was, and then I check jam and I get snapped from the cutoff, and I asked if he had pocket 4s, and he showed me pocket 4s, and I told the dealer, I said, hey, if ace doesn't hit on the river, I'm gonna take my remaining like 300 in chips and just go home. So I just went home.
That's the move, though. What did he do? Look, what did he show?
I'm not sure.
Look at him. He's so happy about it.
Shane 3-bet with 5-3 suited.
He's so carded tonight.
Yeah.
He said, I love it.
I'll tell you what, when you have to pick your spots, especially when you're not running well and you're not getting cars and you pick a spot, a lot of people are going to respect you because you haven't been playing hands.
Right.
He's probably played a total of maybe 5 hands out of maybe maybe we're averaging about 30 hands per hour, 35 hands per hour. Yeah, approximately. Usually you average between 15 to 20 hands
Live, yeah.
per 30-minute down.
Yeah.
Now on the live stream, it's probably... No, we're probably about 80 hands in if I were to get... 60 hands in. I'm just kidding. It seems really short, but...
We're like 3.5 hours in. All right.
Yeah, so that seems a little low, but...
Let's call it 21.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though, dude. I did just pick up my money and go home.
Yeah.
I flopped a flush. Dude flopped a nut flush. Happened twice. What up, bird?
There you go. Hopefully, I'll tell you what, if a 9 comes on the river, he's going to flip the table over.
One of the
Pay the man.
Play was king queen against king eight.
Oh, that was
a rough hand.
How slow can you do this now?
I had eight,
He's got a bet.
and it was 3 clubs, and you had 2 clubs, you had jack.
It's a really big
By the way,
size.
bird, a little big.
Yeah. So he's either targeting flush draws or flushes that hit, or maybe a weaker 5 or a 5 holding. So this is going to go heads up to the river more than likely.
Put a 9 out there.
Let's see what sizing he uses here. What he's going to target.
He's going 250.
No.
He's going big. Yeah, look how big this is.
Overbet's pot.
Yeesh.
You go bird picking.
Way to go,
some chip.
bird. Polarizing there looks very bluffy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you
Right?
what. With a 5-9 hand like that, I'm actually probably not calling that river bet. One, because there are better 5s out there than your 5.
You're folding that 5 there.
Yeah, I'm folding that specific 5. Now, if I have a
Well,
hand like-
diamonds are out there.
yeah, diamonds are out there. If I have like probably the bottom of my calling range in that specific spot, maybe it'd be like king 5, but I'm probably not calling an oversized bet on the river. Now, unless he thinks bird is
Really?
unless he thinks bird is on tilt, right? Because he's been getting some unlucky runouts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that may be why he called, but I'm probably folding a really weak 5 there, especially now. If no flush draw hits on the turn, I would call with a hand like 5-9. But there's not too many hands you're beating in that scenario. There's definitely full houses out there, better 5s than yours, and flushes that beat trip 5s.
Yeah, good point. I'm such a net, I never even end up there with a 5. Or get there? Yeah. Duck, duck. Can't root for our friends in this, right? This is gonna be unbiased.
Yeah, I think Shane just trying to mix it up, knowing that he hasn't played a lot of hands, hoping to spike a flop and stack somebody and cooler somebody.
I'm so disappointed in my friends that can't put their cards over the reader. All right, we got them.
Ooh, no one with a queen.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, Daryl flopping the best of it with an ace. Mediocre kicker. I was just gonna check here. Check call.
Duck's getting out of line. This is interesting. You think he's gonna rep a queen this whole way through?
Could.
He very well could.
Now he's got a 7. Now he's probably not gonna go anywhere.
Oh, is he gonna fire again? Oh,
Oh, too many callers there. Someone definitely has an ace or queen.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed that we are going to be in the booth for about another 25 minutes. Again, I was just informed that we're 10 more minutes out there, so we're on a 15-minute delay. So, you know, and looking to end the stream just a little bit after 10. So, thanks for those of you who jumped back on the live stream when we went blank for a little bit with regards to the table not reading the cards.
Is Nick ever gonna get an ace to fold with this sizing? Sorry to interrupt you.
200 in the no.
There. No. It's a ritual.
Derek folded the best hand.
Rich Cold.
Yeah. Daryl's not going to be
Daryl's
happy.
gonna kick himself.
Yeah, and he's got to believe either one of them has a queen or a better ace. Maybe a hand like ace 10, ace jack.
Rich is even telling Nick. That's it for me, guys. Thank you.
Man, I thought that flop would have been good for my range. Not any of that.
Eddie, who do you think is a big winner tonight? Not chip count. Just play.
Play.
Who's played the best?
It's gonna be probably, in my opinion, it's gonna be between Frankie and Shrek.
Okay.
Yeah, Frankie hasn't been in too many hands of late, but when he had the hands earlier on, played very solid.
Yeah.
Again, with Shrek being so aggressive with his holdings, it's really tough to put him on a specific holding. And so played some hands very well where he was nutted, where he got called light. Got gifted a hand by Daryl when Shrek turned the boat. Fours full of fives, I believe, against Ace Jack where
Yup.
so he got a gift there, but it's probably a tie between Frankie and Shrek.
To me, that was the best hand of the night.
Yeah. And then
one-
Frankie bounced back earlier. I think he got filtered earlier on. Oh, interesting. Straight flush draw out there for Shane.
And I told him, Luke, before we sometimes I just have the best day. Switch seats. I told him, I said, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna re-raise
Is that
here.
325?
225, I think. 3x size. I don't think you can fold to a single raise yet. Heads up. I think you got the peel. Yeah.
Oh, an action killer.
That's tough because, yeah. If I'm Shane,
just
like
slow
if they'll
everything
play
down.
board. Oh wow! Now he's got.
Yeah, this. We always do that. We got this badass open-end straight flush draw. Nothing happens with it. You just show everybody because it's awesome. You want it so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He could have definitely barreled there on the turn. I think if he barrels there on the turn, I think Bird gives up there.
Yeah. The hand I was talking about is the best hand of the night. I didn't really specify. I'm not going to specify very well because I don't remember the specifics of it. But it was Lucas, Shrek, 4-bet pot, and he took that line where the turn was a blank and really bad for his opponent's range. I think it was Nick's 4-betting range.
Yeah, he double barreled turn and
He
river.
double-barreled turn and jammed a blank river. And it was just a very like high-level, deep strategy
Right.
type of play because he understood his opponent and his opponent's range there. I've seen him do that a lot. Shrek has 4K. I feel like this is Duck's third significant win in 3 weeks. Right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. This is your...
Yeah, I've watched the streams.
Which David? Oh, investments, David? How's he doing? actually lose any money, really. He just ran really bad. The guy in your seat. He lost a little.
Who was it?
Shane. You know Shane?
Daryl getting it done with a 6-eye flush draw.
David, I believe you, and I'm glad you're here. David, you got a name? You doing 1,000?
New player in the stream, replacing, I believe, Bird.
I don't know, maybe they came up with them too.
Sir David Alexander. See what his screen name is. Going to get his chip count accurate.
We're good. Because he's got the. Sorry, Charlie. I tried to mix it up so we could chat a little, but you just got further away.
All good. I'm enjoying the conversation out here, actually.
He's a good guy.
Shot the first day we were tied for third. Top prize was 10K.
You should have 64. Great golfer. Now he's better than Greg.
Yeah, on my own.
He made them quite.
Looks like we're going to be going multi-way to the flop, which seems to be the common theme throughout this evening. Haven't had too many pots where we've had less than 3 players. Looking like this one's going to probably go 6 ways to the flop.
David, do you know these guys? Everybody? I check.
Nick with the best hand with bottom 2. Again, pretty connected board in terms of straight draws, flush draws out there, but none obviously of anybody having any of those specific type holdings. Over bets the pot 3x. Trying to protect his bottom 2 pair here. Maybe specifically targeting flush draws, maybe an ace, but even if a naked ace is not going to call here. Ooh, Frankie finally waking up with a hand after being pretty card dead for the last few hours. Opens aces. Oh, and duck with king is going to 3-bet on the button. I'm going to see what size he's going to use here. Slightly over 4x. Definitely a cooler spot. Nick gonna make the cold call out of the small blind with Jack 5 of clubs. Obviously, when it goes back to run to Frankie, he's gonna definitely put in the 4-bet here, being out of position to duck and wanting to get him isolated to get Nick out of the sense. Let's see what sizing he uses here. Being out of position, gonna see him probably make it at least 500, maybe 450. So with the 4-bet, so it's interesting what Duck's going to do here, knowing that Nick is behind. See if he's gonna flat. Now, typically in a hand like in hands like this, especially being on the button with a hand as strong as kings, you could definitely flat the button, be in position, and analyze the flop. But again, with Nick to his left, considering maybe putting in the cold 5-bet to get him out of the hand. And if this was heads up at a certain point, I think he's probably just gonna cold call here. Oh, he's gonna cold 5-bet and make it 900. Oh wow, Nick's no longer gonna be in this hand. I think Frankie's definitely putting duck on the kings. I think he's just gonna have to rip it here. Just gonna call. And wow, we have nearly a 2K pot pre-flop. Table has gotten quiet as action unfolds. Frankie would just... Oh, I think the money's getting in. I think Duck's gonna shove.
Fuck me.
Twice?
Yeah. Frankie with the check and Duck.
Yeah.
Running it twice.
I was kidding.
Frankie with a big pot here. Wow. What a tough hand. Cooler spot. Kings versus aces. Table always quiet. Frankie now over the 5K mark. What a cooler spot. Unfortunate hand there.
I had clubs.
As you all heard, we have 10 minutes left approximately in this stream. Oh, and that sucks just to happen right towards the end of the stream. Patrick been playing so solid up to that point. He gets in a pre-flop cooler situation against Frankie from Next Gen. Patrick gonna top off. Another hand where pocket aces. David, new to the table, going to try and get in on the action, opening up 8-9 offsuit. CB 3-betting him with aces. We're still going multi-way. Let's see if CB just calls here or just raises to isolate. At minimum, is just going to call here. Interesting that Bird not being the pre-flop aggressor, choosing and electing to donk lead this flop after flopping top pair. Yep, definitely going to raise here. Again, Bird, I don't see how you can call here. Yeah, good fold. I'm not a big fan of dunking this flop multi-way when you're not the pre-flop aggressor, especially when you are the player that's significantly out of position. CB again has not been playing a ton of hands today. Has all the over pairs, has all the sets there. So for him to re-raise, even though it was in late position to an open from David, you know, I'm not a big fan of that lead by Bird there, even though he flopped top pair with top kicker. Craig's in the booth now. Yeah, I'm sure you're a witness to that cooler hand with aces versus king with Patrick. Yeah, up to that point, the table had been really dynamic and outgoing, and ever since that hand, the table's gotten a lot quieter. So just a few minutes left in this stream, about 8 minutes left.
To say the least,
Yeah,
Eddie, that was, and the thing about it is that Duck couldn't really, when they kind of had a chance to I guess, post breakdown the hand. Yes, obviously you're going to be upset when you take kings and they run into aces, but he had to appreciate the way how Frankie played it,
Right.
and got the max value, not making the traditional all-in shove once the big raise comes. He smooths calls 900, and I overheard Duck saying, "I don't know what to put him on." And forgive me that I'm a little old school. That when the third raise comes, it's aces or kings.
Yeah, and again, in a splashy game like this, it's tough to but Frankie up to that point, Frankie was very active early on, but for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, been pretty tame. Now, I'm glad that Frankie didn't 5-bet rip it out of position there. Was probably putting Patrick on a hand like queens or kings there, and so, you know, some people would want to rip their aces right there. But with them playing as deep as they were, Alexa just smooth call rather than a 5-bet rip it for 5-bet rip it all in. Again, they were playing deep, and it left, I believe, Patrick had him covered by $300-400. Left an SPR for Frankie of about 0.8 to 1, SPR about 1.1 for Patrick. Sneaky check back on the flop, and then gets Patrick to commit his chips. And so as soon as Frankie snap calls, you know, I definitely heard Patrick say, "Hey, aces, yeah." So, it was really unfortunate. Sorry, it was really unfortunate because Patrick had played extremely solid for the whole time on the live stream, and just to lose your entire stack there, pretty much for the most part, in the last 10-15 minute streams, is like pretty demoralizing. So, what were you gonna say?
No, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. It's the most slightly demoralizing thing that the minute you make the big shove and it gets snap called, you already know.
Yeah, you already know.
You already know. It's not gonna. It's either always gonna be, but considering what the board texture was, you know it's aces. It's odd. It's always gonna be aces. Forgive me, everyone. I'm a little bit winded. Obviously, it's making sure that you can, to the best of my ability, can see these hands up to date. Although we got one here. We got Nick that's got a pair, Rich that's got a two-way straight draw, and a lot of callers here.
Yeah, there was probably 75% of the hands went multi-way to the flop, about 4 to 5 players. So doesn't surprise me with this specific table configuration, specific player pool, that you're going to have a significant amount of multi-way flops.
Right. unfortunately, this was a situation where
Bird had a tough night tonight, man.
Oh.
He had a bunch of cooler spots.
he
Flush
had a
over flush,
and then the
boat over,
I don't know if we had a small hiccup with the delay, but he ran into quads.
yeah.
Yeah, he ran into Nick's quad sevens.
Yeah.
And
I think he's had the fire, like he's on his third bullet probably.
I believe so. Honestly, even with the seat change,
Yeah.
Jam pre-flop, I'm instantly folding.
as you can hear in the background, folks, that's the I guess the deconversation in regards on that aces versus king's hand between Duck and Frankie. But I think we've all ran into the 82-18, where you look down, where you're looking up at the 18%. When you're the 18%, you're looking up at the 82.
Yeah. I ran into one of those spots the other day, and I played Monday evening, played the nightly tournament, and made the final table. But a guy that kind of been aggressive pre-flop opened, and I'm in the small big blind with the kings, and I put in pretty much 70% of my stack, and he re-rips it, and like I have to call because it's like, I'm getting at that point I'm getting like 6-1 or something.
I know,
like
right?
saying, I'm like,
It's one of those things where crap, you have to. I'm like, yes, I know the term is used a lot, being priced in, but what are you gonna do when you?
Yeah.
It's like mathematically, you would not want to lay it down,
Yeah.
but theoretically, you kind of don't have a choice.
yeah, and to be honest, it's $100 tournament. I'm never folding kings pre-flop.
No, who is done?
In a $100 tournament, I'm never folding kings. ever pre-flop.
Not ever. I'm like, Lily,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm like, might as well bring the pain. If you have them, I want to see them.
Yeah.
That's why I always say with the kings, we're just like, okay, if you've got kings and you move on and you've got a better hand, then good luck to you. And unfortunately, there's always that 1 in 5 chance they do.
Oh wow, and nice hand unfolding, bird flopping second nut flush draw, and then turning top pair.
Top second pair.
Yeah,
He's
second
got
pair.
second pair with the nut flush draw, and he's gonna lead out here for 75. Looks like it's just gonna fold around, and it's a
trying to get back some of the chips he lost.
It's a raise and take it, but it's a mad, wild game what we have here in Patrick's game. And although we want to thank all of you for being able to tune in, I know Eddie has pretty much has led the starship from the cone of silence.
Yeah. So I believe this is probably the last hand of the evening, if I'm guessing. And again, Duck was having a really, really, really good stream up until that hand.
I know. It's the worst thing ever that you can have such a good run and then all of it just gets tomahawked at the very last minute.
And I don't recall if he added on or rebought earlier on in the stream. I don't think he did.
I think only after the initial, I think the seat move he added on, but we've got David that's he's not afraid to pump it up with anything. He's going to put the 3-bet in for 110. Duck calls, Rich calls, Bird calls.
Interesting. In a 3-bet pot, getting called King suited, which is a reasonable call with 7 deuce suited and 4 2 suited. Well, David was the original 3-better.
Oh my goodness! And Duck just flops the whole wide world. He flops a full house.
And here's the thing for David. This is a flop that favors his range.
And he just bets 150.
Yeah, it's gonna get
hoping
that call.
anybody has something, a flush draw, a king, hell, aces.
Gets no callers.
No callers.
That's
no
again,
action.
especially after that hand with Frankie.
And you're sitting there
flopping a
going,
boat.
really? It's like semi-demoralizing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, I won a pot, but I ran him. It's like they say, Eddie. It's the old says. You may most likely forget all of the great hands you've had, but you, in absolute detail, will remember the outstanding traumatic losses in detail, text, and time.
Yeah.
Where do I range him in the hand?
Let's see. He's like, this was what, like about 4 hands later, and he's still talking about it.
He's probably gonna be talking about that for a couple days.
At least. So
What's even worse is that it happened on a stream. If it had it on the side table, you're just gonna hear about it. But the fact that it's forever out there now on the internet.
yeah, that's the yes, that's gonna. Are you kidding? That will probably be a part of any clips that we have of this stream. Because I don't think it's happened too much where we've had aces versus kings on the stream, but yeah, that we've had a few other instances. I know GTO Nick the Greek, Nick at Night, Nick the Prophet. He will attest to that. climbing uphill, taking down aces. All right, we're going 5 ways to this pot. That comes 5, 6, 3. Nick with the best hand with his pair of sixes with the 9. Oh, excuse me, with the 9 kicker. And he's going to lead right out. He leads right out for 75.
I think it's a losing play for me to fold kings there, but I'd rather.
Shrek's going to fold. Rich makes the call. And Daryl lays down his hand. And so we are heads up. And the 3 on the turn, no help to either player. It's still Nick with the 2 6s. And Nick barreling again. He bets 145. And Rich with the quick re-raise to 425. Oh wow! I think this is, and Rich is gonna, and Nick's gonna lay down the best hand. And I think Rich would end up revealing his hand. So. Well, folks, anything that I believe, yes, that was going to be the last hand of our live stream. I know the game will continue on even after this, but I wanted to, I've been pulling double duty out here in regards on the actual action, trying to do the best to my ability in regards on giving you all the action amongst all the big hands and all the bluffs and everything else. I know it's been an interesting night of our Wednesday night Patrick's game. I got Eddie back in the booth again as we're going to wrap up for this evening. Wow, Eddie, what you mean? Crazy game, huh?
Yeah, and it was everything that I expected it to be. You know, lots of 3-betting, lots of multi-way flops. 4-betting, again, something that I was expecting, but it was a fun game. It was definitely a fun game, and even with all the action, a lot of multiplayers pre-flop, going to a flop, everybody played pretty well except for, there was a few hands from a few people here and there where some speculative calls, some speculative raises, but overall pretty good. Again, this is going to be a very popular game. It's going to be a fun game.
That I do not doubt, folks. Well, We have I hope that you have enjoyed this Wednesday night extended Patrick's Game stream. I know that it has been an absolute roller coaster of emotions amongst big hands, big raises, big pots, big bluffs, and sick cards and sick moves. So we're gonna go ahead and
Wrap this up.
We're
gonna go to the camera. Oops, sorry there.
Up. Well,
And I actually don't know. Dan stepped out of the booth a few minutes ago, and I don't know where he went. So Craig filling in for his spot. So
I'm not
again,
Dan,
for all those viewers that came and tuned in, stayed through all the technical difficulties, came back. Thank you for tuning in again. Multiple streams throughout the week. Continue to join us. Like and subscribe. YouTube channel, Facebook. Make sure you share it as well. Get notifications for when we go live on our specific streams. And see you guys and gals next stream.
so again, as for Eddie, for Dan, I'm Craig Dobson. Thank you all for tuning in to our Wednesday night Patrick's Game stream at none other than Poker House of Dallas. Good night.